close. BlizzCon time, baby! The offbeat fox! Yes, the glorious hairline is back. It's sick now. Yeah, I just had to give it a old college restart. We had to do a ton of restarts. Good God, BlizzCon is here! Offbeat, Daspari, Isushi, hello to you all, man. Eratonius, thank you, Mr. Arkazo, and the 5 gifted subs. Many of us know what's coming. We do. We can't help it. Some of us got spammed to the absolute ends of the earth, man. We got spammed and spanked and all that kind of stuff, but that's okay. Because what we don't have is them sweet, sweet Blizzard cutscenes to go along with it. What we don't have is the sweet, sweet details, which will only be revealed. They will only be revealed during the deep dive. And we are here with it all. We're going through it all. We're going to be here for the next, like, 3-4 hours-ish. They have all. Let's check it out, man. Let's jump over to the schedule. They have everything World of Warcraft related that at least I'm interested in coming up like straight away. They have it all. Raven Rib, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. All the wonderful. And I should give a shout out here. Let me go back. Good evening, Team USA. It has been some time. Hello, Team USA. It is very hypers to be here. It's my wife's birthday in 2 hours, but hell, man, it's BlizzCon coming, you know. It's her own fault. Having a birthday at BlizzCon Eve? Psh, what a disgrace. USA. USA. Team USA are very real. Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much, Mr. Durdsby. The NA life. Yeah, it's the NA life, man. It is the NA life. Let's take a look here at what Blizzard has in store for us. We have the big opening ceremony, which, of course, will contain all that glorious, glorious stuff that is going to be coming up for Blizzard over the whole year. We have seen that they have StarCraft 2 on the menu. We had some details of that last time. We get a little bit more of that. That Diablo 4 stuff, though. I may not be a fan of the game, man, but I am a fan of how they run those cinematics. And they're like watching horror movies, dude. They get me so damn hyped. So I am very much looking for that. We can let the Diablo Immortal memes die now, right? We can let that go, can't we? As a team, we can let the Diablo Immortal memes die. It's been years. Let it go. Let it go. Never, never let it die. Look, as somebody who accidentally spoke to one of the top Blizzard guys, like literally one of the highest in the company, and told him that they ruined BlizzCon before I found out who he was, by the way. Let me tell you, I'm on the board of letting Diablo Immortal die, okay? I've made enough of an ass of myself in front of top Blizzard execs talking about Diablo Immortal, and I don't even care about Diablo Immortal, all right? I don't even care about it. But I am looking forward to seeing what they have for Diablo 4. Heroes of the Storm, is it even on the list? Is it not even on the schedule? Yikes. That's a bit of a yikes. It's not even on the schedule. Oh my god. That feels bad. No mention of StarCraft either. They're doing StarCraft 3, right? You know it. We're going to see it today. They're doing StarCraft 3. You know it. It's going to be there. They're not just going to abandon it. They can't just be down to 3 games, right? Come on! It is on live support. What reinvigorates it? What reinvigorates it more than some big, juicy newness? My Zerg dream is dying. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what I want from StarCraft is a good, fun, competitive league again with lots of interesting personalities. My boomer fingers don't have the APM to fight against some of these lads, but God, when it was fun, it was so fun. A StarCraft RPG, I don't think we're going to get a new IP. I'm kind of on board with everybody else here. With Corona and the pandemic, I don't see us getting a new IP, a new game, or anything like that. I don't see that happening at all. Cat is doing some weird autofocus. Probably. There's not much I can do about it right now, Chris, unfortunately. If I start fidgeting with the cam, we're going to be in a hell of a state, you know what I mean? You know it is, player. I've probably got it set to something fucking ridiculous. Hold on. Let me just fuck about with it. Why not? Why not? You wouldn't. I would. I'm going to start messing with the camera. You ready? What did that do? Did I fix it? I don't know. Just stay very, very still. I'm just going to do this. Are we auto-focusing like a madman? Oh, we're all right. We're good. I think we turned off the auto-zoom. Woohoo! Hot Skang, rise up. Oh, Jesus. You got paler? Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen. I'm seeing 4K right now. In fact, let's go to our nice camera. We have two cameras. We have the slow 30 FPS camera, and then we have the juicy camera. Yeah, boy! Let's go juicy cam. If you got to buy yourself a hairline, you might as well be a juicy camera, right? Yeah. Let's go juicy cam. Big juicy. Juicy cam hypers, indeed. There's still a HOTS gang. They still release stuff for Heroes of the Storm. They still do. They still keep it updated. They killed the competitive scene. I've got the Shadowlands soundtrack on. Give me something better. Give me some juicy songs. I need some fire in my belly. That's what I want. Yeah, Arthur's my son. Yeah, baby. Give me some of that. Give me that. So, we've got the World of Warcraft main stage panel. After the opening ceremony, bish bosh. We've got opening ceremony. Then we've got World of Warcraft What's Next. And then we've got the World of Warcraft deep dive. And they're doing it back to back. The cam corner. Cam corner. Oh, look at that corner. That's not annoying, is it? I doubt anyone cares about that. How's that? We golden? Yeah. We're absolutely golden. And then we're going to have some Diablo stuff. So we're going to cover... Interesting stuff, man. Appropriate indeed. Appropriate indeed. Oh, are you're not frothing at the mouth for the cutscenes that are coming? I know it sounds sad because I don't watch any of the in-game cutscenes, but the cinematics that Blizzard makes, I like play them to my kids. They love it, man. They love it. Although they're a little scared of Sylvanas, which is wrong because she's my queen. You should never be scared of the queen, man. She's my queen, and I cannot wait for her to be proved innocent. Right? I can't wait. It's going to happen. She's going to be proved innocent, and we're all going to be so happy because she's got a heart of gold. Man up. She's got a heart of gold, man. She was definitely under the influence of the jailer when she did all those unsavory things. 100%. And my queen shall return, and it's going to be awesome. Oh. That's not bait. A heart of ghost iron. I don't think so. Yeah, for Saturday, they have the Q&A, which is hit or miss, let's be honest. The WoW Q&A is always a bit hit and miss. Somebody's going to ask about, like, transmog or something, and I'm going to get upset. I'm going to get angry. They're going to be asking about what's happening with fishing. Something about Thrall. You know, is Thrall going to do something? I don't know. Something like that. Where are the high elves? Yeah, where are the high elves? That's what's going to happen. The real questions. Yeah, exactly. I am on the water right now. I have a long way to go. This is my third stream today. And I've been ill, so I'm on the water right now. I'm going to find a beer before the show starts, I think. And then we have the World of Warcraft evolution of Thrall. I mean... No, not for me. Not for me. The Shadowlands sound creation. But I did want to do this. I was really hoping we could do a cook-along. If I knew what they were making, I would absolutely do a cook-along. Live cook-along with the World of Warcraft dudes. But I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Which is a big sad. It is a big, big sad. But good news is we can restream BlizzCon right here. So if you can either have both open if I say something and you're like, I wish this fat baldy would shut up. You can mute it there. Won't be talking too much, or certainly over the opening ceremony. We're going to be watching along together and having good fun with that. Sure we will be joined by Finn. Okay, that needs to go for a start. All right. That needs to go. So people aren't spamming that. Let's get rid of that one. I don't want that to be happening. We've got all the notifications and stuff turned off, and in between, so the way Blizzard has explained this to me, all right, I want to be clear now so I don't get this wrong. The way Blizzard has explained it to me is we are absolutely allowed to restream BlizzCon, and we're allowed to watch it together. We're allowed to do all that juicy, lovely stuff, but they will have some stuff at some point which we're not allowed to restream, and it will be like, this is copyrighted stuff. You can't restream that. I'm assuming... but I could be wrong on this. I'm assuming that is like in between during setups. They'll be playing music and stuff like that. So at that situation, we're going to jump over to here so we can have a chit-chat and stuff. But this is what I can promise you is I will have it open as soon as anything is happening. We'll be jumping back over there, so you're not going to miss a damn thing, assuming we do our jobs correctly. And I just keep changing focus. So, as long as we do that, we should be fine. We are going to be joined by Mr. Finn. He's obviously dealing with his puppers right now. Finn will be joining us, so we have that going on as well. But that is the general plan. All right? That is the general plan. It should be good. So, I have the BlizzCon stream open, starting in about half an hour. Yeah, it should work well. Hopefully it'll work well. If anything goes wrong, then, you know, unlucky, it fucked up. There's nothing we can do. I will say we did drop some frames earlier. We've had internet problems recently, so if that happens, don't worry about it. It's just something that we can't control. It's out of our hands. The BlizzCon stream itself is going to be on that YouTube. So I'm going to paste that link for you right here, right now. That is the direct stream. Blizzard is streaming via the YouTube. So it's all good. They're going to be streaming there. They've got the preview set up. I have it open. As soon as anything's happening, we'll be over there, so we won't miss it if you're here. Should be good. I can hide. I'll hide that later on. What are we most excited about, squad? Virgin Media has massive problems right now. I spoke to them on the phone. Their data centers are absolutely screwed, especially on the business lines. They're promising to sort it. I have also reactivated my own old ISP with BT. That's way slower, but was way more reliable. I do have to wait for the stuff to come, though. Classic TBC. We do know the strange thing. Love to gauge your thoughts on this, guys. That they're going to let you pick whether to carry your classic character over to TBC or not. Doesn't look like you'll be able to have duplicates. So you're not going to be able to say, like, I want my classic character, but I want a different... I also want to take... I want to carry a character over to TBC. I just don't want to make a new character in classic. Which I think a lot of people would love to have. I wonder if they're going to remaster the TBC cinematic. That would be sweet. Let's have a watch of that real quick as well. Because that was the first expansion ever announced, especially for young me. Everyone together in a giant... that's the wrong video. One sec. That's just the legacy of the Burning Crusade. It's a cool video, though. You should check it out. If you have any issues about the Burning Crusade. I'm just saying, if you want to like catch up, then you can do that. Here it is. Oh, baby. God, what a time to be alive this was.
Imprisoned for 10,000 years. Banished from my own homeland.
I didn't know who this voice was. I never played Warcraft before this.
And now you dare enter my realm. You are not prepared.
This scared me. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Best scene. Easily the best scene, that, by the way. Yeah, Illidan's good, but this casual burning of the imps is so good. Murlocs, whatever. Shit mobs, trash. This. That's legit. Damn, that's good shit. That is good squishy right there. That is the coolest. That is the coolest. And all I did when I was a big newbie, when I was the big newbie and that thing was announced, man, was try and figure out what classes X could be. Because I wasn't even sure at the time that whether who was getting Alliance, who was getting Horde, and like finding out we were going to get Paladins. Oh, man. Woo! Baby, baby. Such good stuff, man. Such good stuff. I'm rock hard. All my trash ones are bad. I have some hair. It's coming in now. I wish I could stop this autofocus, guys. I'm just not sure how. I think I have to go into settings, which is magical. Some fucking button. I'm taking pictures. I'll do that. Let's leave it alone. Oh, I fucked it up now, and I pressed a fucking button. Now I'm upside down or something. Come back to me, baby. Yeah, come back to me. Chris, he's touching things. He's touching buttons. He's totally touching buttons. Right, so, did they... There's nothing on here about TBC, right? No, there isn't. There's nothing on there about it. Wonder what this Blizzard Early Years thing is supposed to be. It's 20 minutes long. I think it's that video again that they made for YouTube like 3 years ago. Oh, you think they'll put it into there? Oh. I'm thinking they're going to just stick it in the opening ceremony as a video and then no details, really. You might get more information on the Q&A. I really do hope we get a remastered cinematic, though. Genuinely hoping. I start work at 5. Be good, Dudette, be good. I'm here to see if I should resub if they do something good with Sylvanas. Sylvanas is going to get redeemed, Denzel DK. Sylvanas is going to come back in a big, big way. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so very, very good. They're streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube. Awesome, awesome. I have the YouTube one open. If one of them starts lagging, let me find the other. If one of them starts lagging, then we'll know, won't we? We'll make sure we get the best one. We want the juicy one. Is it in the World of Warcraft channel? Where you at? Where you at, baby? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Got it. Got it. Alright, so I've got both open. So if one's lagging behind or whatever, we'll try and get the best one. We'll do a full refresh of both of them, though, just before it starts. To make sure we're getting it salted. Redeemer back to hell. Diablo not what's next could be resurrected info. I would be surprised if they're going to make any sections of this boring, considering they've dropped StarCraft out and dropped Heroes of the Storm out. I have to believe they're going for really, really good stuff. Like, bang, one after the other, one after the other. Have to imagine. We can shorten stream.
Hello.
Yes. Oh my god, a wild Fingle has appeared.
Hi.
Ahoy, Sailor. How you doing, pal?
Yeah.
Look at that pupper. Don't come in here with a pupper. That's unfair.
Yeah, the pupper's here. I'm sorry. He has to stick around at the moment.
He's a poorly pupper. Can we get some love in the chat for poorly Milo?
He's not doing well. He's staring at me, isn't he? I can't see my camera. I imagine he is, yeah.
Go on, give him a little scrap without looking.
You alright?
There it is. There it is. Some love for a poorly dog. My dog's okay. Just letting you know.
Thanks very much, dude.
My dog is fine. Are you hyped, dude, or what?
Yeah. I'm intrigued for more details. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Are you worried
Arthur's
about
redemption arc?
The Arthur's redemption arc. It's all about Sylvanas redemption. The
Nah, fuck
Sylvanas redemption is
Sylvanas.
the way.
Sylvanas, I'm going to kill her in the raid, and then Arthas is going to be redeemed. Yes.
No,
That's what's happening.
they're not giving up on my queen. She's gotta be so happy. Shut up!
You can't be like that with her. You can't be like that with her. It's not acceptable.
She's gotta be the new jailer? No way.
No, Arthas is going to take his place because he'll be like, there always has to be a jailer, or whatever they say at the end of the
There
rest.
always has to be a jailer.
Yeah, they've just replaced the dialogue directly. They just clip out the words Lich King, and then they just put jailer in instead. And then Arthas.
You are not ready yet. They just
exactly.
completely rehash all the old taglines.
Yeah, 100%. Love it.
That would be some of the best writing ever. This is morally Navy. Oh no. That would be genuinely quite scary. But I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping to get a good video of inside the raid that they're going to show the next raid. But we were kind of saying then whether they're going to do a TBC remastered cutscene for TBC Classic, like bring it up to the modern era, like they did with the cool Warcraft 3 one.
Yeah, that'd be good. They really did a good job when they updated Warcraft 3 though. So
it still hurts inside.
Hurts me deeply.
And I didn't even play Warcraft 3. I was pissed off on behalf of other people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get pissed off on behalf of everybody else.
It's the fastest I've refunded a game.
Did you refund it?
Oh yeah, 100%. The amount wasn't worth it.
Oh my god. Yeah. I can't believe it. You actually refunded it? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you refund it as well? Oh my god. I think I own it.
I've got the original one. I've been playing the actual original one because you can download it off BNet.
I thought they cancelled that, or did they make it the new BattleNet?
I think
I do own it. Never played it.
Yeah, if you already had the old one, you can just download it. It's real good. Don't play Reforged though. Bad game.
Oh, Rogue confirmed. We've had a Rogue day. We have certainly had a Roguey day. I believe in the Rogue redemption story. Really fun. The Rogue redemption story is real.
Yeah.
I believe in the Rogue Reforged for sure. Do you?
If you want to continue to not raid, like going for a bench class is a good shout. So.
I mean, fuck you, right? I hope BlizzCon is now entirely dedicated to Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Oh, same dude. I love shooters. Let's go.
I hope it's entirely dedicated.
As long as Arthas is in it, I'm down.
Arthas has been added to Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they had Thanos in Fortnite, right? That worked.
Yeah, it's true. Why not? Let's do it.
They did do that.
Crossover events.
The crossover event of the century was having that happen. List all the COD games in order. 1, 2, 3. And Modern Warfare's in there somewhere, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Did I nail it? Warzone?
Yeah.
That's a game.
Warzone's also a game. Yes, good game. Solid game. Played that a bit.
Not even close, no. I've only ever played the Call of Duty games, so I can use my freedom knife to bring freedom to the enemies. And I've done it very well.
Giving them freedom.
I have distributed so much freedom. So much freedom. It's been awesome. They, are we concerned, Chat and Finn, that they may... We were talking about this earlier, like redoing a system of the past that they thought worked kind of well. And I noticed in our team chat earlier, you said, oh my god, I've been thinking about them more. They're going to do more pearls. Like they did with the Najatar pearls. Yikes.
Yeah. I didn't quite put that together until after we made the video, but you know the new currency that you found in the mall from like the mining stuff?
I did find a new currency, yeah.
Well, if the raid is in Torghast, then, you know, seems like Benthic 2.0 to me.
I doubt we're ever seeing the return to Titan Forging. Come on. Yeah, your camera's lagging a bit on Discord, that's all.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix.
That's okay. Give it a restart if it needs to be. Oh. Chris sent me here. Chris has sent me maybe something that we're... Oh. What is this? Chris has sent me a file called jailer.mp3. This is going to be some anime shit.
Oh, this is going to be some ooey nonsense.
Alright. It says jailer.mp3.
There must always be
a jailer.
You fucking dickhead, Chris.
That's actually perfect. Yep.
There must always be.
I imagine that might be what the scene is like, to be honest. Proper rehashed story. Like, they've put in zero effort.
It's so low effort, it's almost hilarious.
Yeah, it's zero effort.
Like, Chris didn't even record his own voice. Like, that's so lazy.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that Dave the Intern would do as well. After he did the transmog sets, he's then done the jailer voiceover. Love it.
God. That is disgusting. Cinematic it is in beta. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know about that, man. I don't know, public. I don't know about that. Real leak. Yeah, sorry. We just got that directly from our Deep Throat Underground Blizzard employee of the cutscene we're about to see in just a few minutes. There will always be a jailer. And you are not ready yet.
And then Arthas appears. And then Illidan comes back and says, we're not yet ready.
Ready.
And then it continues into the patch. Also, Sylvanas is good again.
What amazes me is you are genuinely interested in the story. Like,
I don't know why you don't know this about me. Like,
I don't believe that anybody likes the Warcraft story. I assume all time.
The current Warcraft story is absolute junk. But like Warcraft 3 had a legit good story. Like a really good story. And
I've
then
never played it.
Anytime they bring back the characters from Warcraft 3, I'm excited about it.
Well, they've done everybody now, right? There's literally nobody left. They're down to like the innkeeper in one of the levels at this point. Right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, they've done most things. But then what they tend to do is they like... Well, in Burning Crusade, for example, they made Illidan a bad guy, which was a terrible decision. And then afterwards, they were like, oh, I think we might have messed up this. So then in Legion, they bring him back, and it's like, he was good all along. Don't worry about it.
Who the fuck
They're
is
do the
Cairn?
same with Going to do the same with Arthas, for sure.
Oh, Cairn's a cowman. Okay.
Yeah, Cairn's Tarn dude.
Yeah, he's a
Garrosh
cowman.
killed him, though.
I
Spoilers.
do know most of these characters, honestly. I just googled Warcraft 3 characters. I know most of these dudes. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that bad. Like, that's Arthas. I know that. There's the Queen. Praise be. Love you. Would suck your toes. Illidan.
That was weird.
Hey, we were talking earlier that if there's a Sylvanas boss fight, it should just be us rubbing her feet, like, for, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, phase 2 is the baby oil. The whole thing.
I don't want to be a part of that.
Well, you can't. Sure. You have to. You're a raid nerd, so you have to.
I'll just play rogue, boss. And then I'll be on the bench.
What about the loot? Just play Shadow Priest and give me PI. Thank you.
Yeah, true.
Do your job. Yeah, they have used all these characters. Except this guy, Lich, just on his own. Maybe he's going to make a comeback.
Just a Lich. Yeah. I mean, they've used most of them.
Yeah.
Medivh could come back. That'd be kind of cool. He was in, what do you call it? Mega Dungeon, Legion. Why have I forgotten his name?
A Mega Dungeon in Legion. Oh, in Karazhan? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Chen Stormstart was in Warcraft 3. I thought they just made up the pandas. I'm lying at this point.
He was there.
Don't fucking email me, okay?
Yeah, he was there, dude. He was the only panda, though, and then they made up the rest. There was only one panda.
There was one panda?
Yeah, they were all dead. It was just him.
I'm writing that email now.
That's why he was drunk. It was actually a super dark storyline. Maybe that's why they changed it to a fun panda one.
We need to lighten this up. Let's have to be silly.
This is the kind of conversations we have off stream.
Yeah, it is.
Like, how dark can we make this one?
Story. Well, I hope they go somewhere with the story. I really hope they get something really cool with the Maw. We've had a little teaser about what they might be doing there. Hopefully we're going to get a nice preview of what's to be had there. Mega Dungeon Hypers. Should be good too. Mega Dungeon, interesting stuff. Like, Mechagon wasn't as good as Karazhan, but Mechagon was still good, right?
Yeah, it was really good. Mm-hmm.
I very much enjoyed it. I
And
wonder if they'll have
they
the hard
tend-
modes again, Finn.
Yeah, and they tend to work quite well when they're split in half for M Plus as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked both of the Mechagon ones on M Plus.
I liked both the Karazhan ones.
Yeah, same. So I'm really excited. I think they tend to nail Mega Dungeons, honestly. Maybe I'm hyping them up too much, but the last two have been really good.
Oh, fingers crossed. I wonder if they're going to show any allied races. I would have expected that to be in the leak if they were going to put more allied races in. They were such a cash cow for them in BFA. You would expect they're going to keep that rolling in some way with allied races, right?
I am surprised that they've stopped, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would stop that. It is like printing money.
Yeah.
But I guess that was kind of the same with some of the customization options they put on the barber. I imagine they made quite a lot of money out of them as well. So, I don't know.
I think I've
Weird.
seen the problem, Finn, is people want fairies.
Do you know what the
Unreal
problem
fairies.
was? They missed the biggest cash cow imaginable, because I would have definitely played one. Why didn't they make Valpura druids with tiny bear forms?
Right?
Like what's wrong with
Rat
lizards?
bear.
Like why?
Mouse bear.
Yeah, mouse bear, like a tiny little kitten instead of a cat. Like yes.
No one's going to
Why did they not do this?
And little hippo farm.
Yeah.
Like
Like-
tiny hippo farm with a little tail.
I don't know why they wouldn't do that, to be honest.
Rat bear. Sotty re-rolling.
Salty.
That could be a rat bear. I was saying this earlier on today. It's a crying shame that druids literally aren't the most creative and imaginative and fun class in this game, because they absolutely should be. Like, unquestionably, they should be.
The Legion artifacts made them really cool, I thought.
I'm gonna bring
I
this over
loved
here,
some of the
chaps.
skins and stuff from Legion
Oh,
artifacts.
sweet
They were-
Jesus. I had YouTube stream chat open for a sec, Finn. I'm apologizing.
Oh.
Whew. You know, there are people still salty about pandas in the YouTube comment section. It's literally like traveling back in time.
Yeah, but
Like,
YouTube
still.
comments. I mean, you've looked at YouTube comments, right? Like, I look at them quite a lot. They're funny. But those
I don't know.
people
I can't. I'm not going to
unstable.
comment after this week.
I mean, I'm just. I don't have as big a PR disaster if I say this, but those people are crazy, dude. Like,
Some
they're
very
nuts.
angry people.
They're
Some
really
very angry
unhappy
people.
about everything. Like, stuff. I don't know who hurt them, but
I'm over pandas now.
I like the pandas though. Like, if you played Warcraft 3, Chen Stormstout's like a really good character in Warcraft 3. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play a panda. It's weird that people were so angry about it. Oh well.
We had a little donation there, Finn. One for you, maybe. Did you see the changes for demonology? Demon targeting. You can finally use attack target to control all demons instead of waiting for them to cast a spell. Ooh. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Look.
I did not see that. I'll make a bold prediction. Still not good. There you go. That's my bold demonology prediction.
I'm gonna throw out a big risky maneuver here. Still bad. Still not
I
good.
don't think the targeting was the problem, but I'm glad they fixed it.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all good. We have got.
I'm surprised they haven't done anything with the HP stuff on Demo Warlock, but that's just me.
I hope we could stay on this one channel. I wonder if they're going to move us around for the World of Warcraft stuff, because they're doing it back to back to back to back.
I'm hoping it'll just be on this, considering this is the WoW channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because they talked about like the Blizzard channel has stuff running as well.
Yeah, because they are doing
I think
some stuff
people should be able
concurrently.
to.
I wonder how stressful it is in the Blizzard offices right now. Who do you think gets sweaty the most?
Dave the intern.
You know, it's
He's done all the patch notes and stuff so far.
well, whoever leaked everything, right?
he's on
They
edge.
put him in charge of running this. You
Oh.
leaked it, you could deal it. You could deal with
I
it.
mean, I don't know how that leak is honestly possible. Like unintentionally. Not to tinfoil hat it or anything, but it's quite difficult to send out a press pack with all that information. You know?
Yeah, but even then, you don't. There's no reason to intentionally do it either. It's not like there was anything in there that was like horrific news to pre-prepare people. Like there have definitely been leaks in the past that companies have done if they know people are going to be pissed to sort of like smooth the waters over a bit and like let people process that information before it goes out. This wasn't. Imagine if it's a debate. Nah. Could be.
Yeah, there's not that much stuff in there, really. It would be amazing if it was a debate. It's like, you thought we were going to Torghast, but we're actually going to Naxxramas 3.0. Let's go. That would be amazing and kind of hilarious.
I'd be totally down with that. I'd be okay with that.
It's not going to happen. There's way too much like information. Like the Anduin picture is like way too good, honestly.
Got me thinking now, just in case. I'm now preparing myself for that all being a debate, but I don't think it is.
It's not. There's no way.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. There is definitely several leaks going on, which I'm fine with, because it's all the leaks we had were kind of general. What we don't have is the specifics. That's what we don't have. We have the specifics.
Yeah.
A couple of areas I'm scared on, Finn, is anima power, because it's not good right now, right? You earn too little for what they want from you. I think people are... I mean, I know a lot of people are grinding it out. I'm not sure if you are. But it's not doing a great deal, which is what it was intended, but they probably wanted to do more, I would think.
It's better now that you get loads from dungeons and raid. Like, I get my weekly quest from clearing the raid, which is good. But, I mean, I'm mostly worried about the updates to soulbinds and conduits.
Predictions?
That scares me a lot. I'm worried that they're going to, like, Netherlight Crucible it, and it's just going to make it so much worse.
Why would you say that?
Because that's what I'm worried about.
It looks like Milo's eating your arm, by the way, because your arm disappears behind his mouth. It looks like he's got half your arm.
He's rested on my arm. I don't know. It's a way to get him settled. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, so you're thinking they're going to add passive DPS procs into the trees? Is that what you're suggesting there?
I don't know what else they add other than some additional passives and maybe like another potency slot or another slot of some kind. But either way, whatever they add to the conduit and soulbind trees, they're already crazy unbalanced. So if they add anything to the trees, they're even more unbalanced instantly. And if they add new soulbinds entirely, then that's just another layer of complexity. And the way that the conduit system works, where you can't like realistically swap around right now if you want to play multiple specs, it just makes that even more difficult. So
we have it live, but they're playing a DJ thing, so they're playing Hodor. So you guys can watch that. That's part of the copyright stuff we're not allowed to restream. So that's totally fine. But thanks for the update, guys. Peepo G sent a donation to you, Finn, with a question. The reason behind evil Illidan in the Burning Crusade was that they had two story teams, and one of the teams thought Illidan was actually killed Jaden. Your thoughts?
I need to go and lie down. Like, that can't be true. That's a bait, right? If I answer that question, someone's going to clip it and be like, lol, he believed him. Like, there's no... Nah, that can't be right. That's so dumb that it might be right, but I can't even comment.
Well, it's true.
People are saying, nah, it's true. I'll rant about this for like an hour. We can't start on this now. There's no way.
I have got DJ Holder on the other screen, and he is jamming, by the way. He's sweaty, he's jamming. I've seen Hodor live. He was at the last BlizzCon I was at. Hodor was in the, just outside the Hilton, jamming. I didn't even notice as I was walking past him. I was like, this is too loud. Too loud. But he's actually popping. Thank you. So 5 gifted subs, Silkwood. Thank you very much. That's a pleasure. Hobbsy said, Demonology is a meme. I love it. Just not on side of Nathrius. Fuck that. Okay, Boomer. It was loud and it was too noisy. It was dubstep all the way. I don't want that in my life. I don't need it. It's not going to be good. Your dog needs a boop? I think his dog's fine. I think he's doing all right there, right?
Yeah, he's chilling.
Yeah,
he's chilling. He's pretty comfy. It's interesting having him up on the desk, but it's good. He's fine.
We have a new area of the Maw coming. Any predictions for how they're going to improve the Maw? What could they do? The Maw is kind of... It's a problem right now, right? They want people to take part in the zone. They're not.
I mean, it literally can't get worse, can it? I think you could add almost anything in there. Let's put a mandatory daily grind in there. That's what I think. Like
Smooth brain,
Benthic.
smooth brain.
Like Benthic. Get some Benthic stuff in there. But instead of having sockets, make them have like sockets and tertiaries, so you have to farm even more.
Can you imagine?
Because I'm pretty bored of them all, honestly. No, I think, honestly, I think they need to make them all something that's not power gained. Like, you don't gain power on your character from it, but it's just a bit of fun. Like how Torghast kind of was at the beginning of Alpha, where you just dived in to have a little bit of a laugh. Like, I'd be down to have a zone in the maw that's kind of legitimately hard, but has some transmog and mounts and stuff hidden behind it.
Do you think they're going to do anything to Torghast?
No.
There's no mention of it, but Torghast needs a little love, right?
I don't think they're going to do anything to it, honestly. I'm not sure if they know what to do with it. Because the obvious option is just give us the 72 floor run that was in early beta, because that is objectively better than any version of Torghast that I've played so far. But they've said on a couple of occasions now that, like, that's not a thing that potentially their servers could handle, with like everyone doing that many instance floors. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what you do with it, because for some reason they nerf powers in there, which is confusing to me, because I think if things are broken in there, that's awesome, and you should just break more stuff rather than nerfing them to make them feel kind of minor powers. But yeah, I don't know. I think they've got the wrong mindset with Torghast. I think it should be stupid, and it should make your character feel ridiculous. But right now, it just makes me feel like a little bit stronger, and I cast Vivify on myself. So
yeah. Well, as a monk, it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
Got a balanced solo concept. It's strange because
it's weird, right?
For us, it's been such a journey of disappointment from what we first tested to where it eventually ended up. But it still does, and I still stand by it. It still has so much potential. It really does. I really hope it doesn't go the way of Garrisons and Warfronts, where they're like, you didn't like it? Okay, we're just going to go scrap it then.
Yeah, I was really worried they were going to do that with them all. I thought they were going to Warfront it, honestly. Because I'm not sure if anyone likes it.
Some people do. I've had some people come in and say they enjoy just doing them all. It's kind of mindless. You know, it doesn't take too long. Your rewards are good. You know, you're getting gem slots for your characters. Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it is.
You would choose to do it over anything else? Would be my question. Like,
I mean, don't ask me. I hate them all. But
no, yeah. I mean, I don't either. I don't like it at all. I do it, so it probably shows that I like it in their data. But yeah, I just don't see. I would rather be doing almost anything else. If I could earn Stygia and M+, I'd be doing M+. That sort of stuff is pretty clear to me. But
same with the Great Vault, right? You get 750 Stygia from the Great Vault. What is that? That's like, what, 2 dailies? 2 more dailies? That's your trade-off for not getting an item, is 750 Stygia. That's...
yeah,
that needs a bit
probably
of
like a day's worth. That's nothing.
Don't worry, guys. Yeah. We'll be there as soon as it starts. Have no fear, my friends. Have no fear. We are all ready and raring to go. It is all fine. Let's go! It's going to be starting in a minute, Finn.
I'm excited.
All right, I'm going to throw down the refresh on both of these so we can make sure we're as up to date as we can be. Quickly hide
YouTube chat. Hide
the YouTube chat immediately. The cinematic is going to be good. I'm cancelling the music. All right. You summoned the THD. Praise.
Did I summon THD by talking about them all?
Someone say more? It's like he's hiding. This is your THD announcement. The more? What was that? He arrived instantly the other day. The second we found out weird stuff. It started. None of my streams are showing it starting. More? Let's see. It's live. I wonder if they've not updated their other streams. That's fine. Let's get it open on here. Sorry out for you now, guys. Don't worry. Neither of these streams are showing anything happening, which is fine.
I still got 1 minute 14 on the timer.
Yeah. So. Yeah, relax, guys. We're getting there.
connection, but it's not. You come home, log onto your PC.
Let me know if the volume's
and
okay, guys.
disappear into a different world.
I am a part of something bigger, a part of something beautiful.
As an autistic person, video games give me a place where I could be in a world that made sense to me.
I will tell you that all of my family play video games.
Me and my brothers, we would share the computer 1 hour at a time.
저는 제 와이프랑 게임을 가장 많이 해요.
I'm really enjoying playing video games with my dad.
My children.
My little sister. That connection between video games, allowing us to converse with each other, added a lot to our relationship.
Games like the World of Warcraft let me meet people that I probably never would have.
I can honestly say I met some of my best friends through playing games.
We have this connection that allows us to share our joys, to share our achievements, to share our growth together.
Every time I'm able to achieve something, I'm able to make myself proud.
Killing heroic Blackhand back in Warlords of Draenor was one of my favorite memories.
I managed to find that one hidden pylon with my one Mutalisk.
We beat hardcore Inferno Diablo.
I was able to hit gold in competitive in Overwatch.
I had someone say, oh, I can't lose to a girl. And I beat that guy.
So I was able to slay
that was Crip, right?
Warlock as a little gnome holy priest, freaking out and screaming the whole time.
Adrenaline through my body was going crazy.
Pela caminhada ter sido tão prazerosa e pela conquista ter vindo.
A gente se sentiu muito, caramba, a gente conseguiu algo incrível aqui.
I killed the Lich King! I killed the Lich King!
然后夺冠的时候，现场的女性工作人员，包括有些男的工作人员，他们都哭了。
Many years ago, I was doing a quest in Tirikar Forest, and a lovely little mage came up and said, "Would you like a hand?" They helped me for the rest of the day. We've been married now for over a decade.
That's cute.
Those video games filled a void. They filled the friendships that I didn't have. There isn't a huge LGBTQIA+ community in my city. So when I was able to play a video game, I was able to start talking with people who didn't really care that I was a gay male.
But video games were my escape. When I was a teenager, my dad was diagnosed with ALS, and I looked to video games as a way to escape from that sort of reality. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm just glad video games were there for me.
I'll never stop playing video games.
There's no way.
I imagine myself one day being an 80-year-old grandpa gamer.
Playing video games has shaped me. I don't think I would be who I am today.
My passion, my interest, my excitement, they belong.
Video games opened for me the world.
And because of that, I'm forever thankful.
And I can't wait to see what the next generation holds.
I want to go to BlizzCon now. Fuck this online shit.
Yeah. God, the art team hard carries, huh? My God, every time.
Welcome to Blizzconline, a celebration of 30 years of Blizzard communities and 30 years of Blizzard games. 30 years is so many years, and last year maybe felt like one of the longest of all. But throughout the years of Blizzard Entertainment, from 1991 to today, many of us can associate certain games with milestones in our lives. Maybe you were a little kid the first time you played The Lost Vikings, or in high school when you first played a Diablo game. Or maybe you met your partner while you were playing World of Warcraft. That's the awesome thing about video games. They give us experiences that are relevant to the times in our lives and experiences that we carry forward with us. Games are here for us during good times, and they're here for us even when we feel alone or maybe uncertain. Games are coming home, familiar, comfortable, with a connection and a sense of belonging. And while many of us spent most of 2020 in our actual real-life homes, games became even more of a place to get away, to be free from outside concerns, even if just for a little while. So, this is pretty weird. Usually, when we start BlizzCon, the opening call is to my favorite Warcraft faction, the Alliance. Or my favorite faction, the Horde. I get confused.
Woo!
Usually, I'd be speaking to 40,000 of you in person at the Anaheim Convention Center and millions of you around the world. And usually, that would be a perfect way to celebrate.
That was the normal Alliance reaction.
But nothing about the last year has been
Yeah, it's like 2 people.
The pandemic has been hard on everyone, and for many different reasons. But if there's one thing that the last year has taught us, it's that being apart physically doesn't stop us from moving forward. It doesn't stop us from connecting with our player friends around the world, diving in as warriors and heroes, and checking on each other as humans. It doesn't stop us from sharing our latest epic gaming story or celebrating those of others. Games continue to unite us. Now,
I think that's a fair shout.
to be
How
honest,
many people have spent time in
I wasn't
streams
sure
with
how
other
well
people during
Blizzard
this?
could work from home.
It's not
There are
wrong.
thousands of people all needing to work
Oh, yeah,
together,
absolutely.
creating our universes, games, and experiences. Never has it felt more true that it takes a Blizzard to make a Blizzard game. And in 2020, it became clear that the magic of creating at Blizzard isn't just tied to a physical location. It's tied to the people who work here, and I continue to be so proud of each and every one of them. Thank you, Blizzard. We create these games and pour all of our energy and heart into them, but it is you, the Blizzard community, that brings them to life. And that's why BlizzConline is a celebration of you, the guild leaders, healers, DPS, tanks, innkeepers, Zerg, Terran, Protoss, Blackwatch, Shimada, the heroes of Sanctuary and of the Storm. These next few days are for you, our Blizzard community. For World of Warcraft, we'll be showing you what's next for both Shadowlands and Classic. I'm sure you're all burning in anticipation for that.
Oh, I think it's Wrath.
Hearthstone is getting back to its
That's what it is.
roots in a major way. We can't wait to show you how. We also have news for our Diablo community. Some of you were able to dip your toes into the depths of hell in the Diablo Immortal Technical Alpha. I really enjoyed seeing players embrace the multiplayer aspect of meeting in town. We can't wait for more of you to get your hands on it. So, it's only the beginning of the year, and already there is so much to look forward to, even though we can't yet be together in person. The Overwatch League will be kicking things off in spring, and we'll be watching closely to see if the San Francisco Shock can continue their
What's a
championship
StarCraft?
run. World of Warcraft Esports is back with the Arena World Championship and Mythic Dungeon International already in full swing in Shadowlands. StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3 Esports are going strong with our friends at the ESL Pro Tour. And qualifiers are already underway for the first online stop of the 2021 Hearthstone Masters Tour, with the first event taking place next month. But before we get too far ahead, let's take a look one last time to when times were a little simpler. In the early 1990s, the internet was a baby. CD sales had finally eclipsed cassette tapes. Cassette tape, it's a rectangle piece of plastic, and there's a tape inside, and music would get recorded on, and sometimes you needed a pencil to wind it and make it tight. I know, it sounds crazy. We were all playing video games,
Hello,
Super
fellow
Nintendo,
children.
Sega Genesis, DOS, or Mac PCs. I personally was a master of config sys and auto exec bat. So many simple things in simple times. If only we could relive them.
Arcade.
The stage is set. The green flag drops. Let the carnage begin. Holy Toledo! What a collection!
The cat jammers.
Now we're talking. What a play! Crank up the volume! Unbelievable! Whoa!
Hell yeah, that looks awesome.
You are aware that's on Battle.net and people are going to be playing 4-player
The
racing
Blizzard
every
Arcade
time there's a
Collection,
raid break.
featuring
Yep.
the Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn. These are ports of the games just as you remember them, allowing you to relive the original experience of all three titles in 13 different languages, with a couple of quality of life upgrades. As an example, we include very modern, cutting-edge functionality that wasn't available in the early 90s, both saving and loading of games. And for those of you who purchased any Blizzard Digital Anniversary Bundle via Battle.net, you'll automatically receive the Blizzard Arcade Collection on PC today. Now, you ready to hear about some other video games? Let's hear what's next for
There
World
we go.
of Warcraft.
Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. No matter where you are, World of Warcraft unites us all. Whether you're exploring the Shadowlands, Classic Azeroth, or another part of the Blizzard universe, I'm glad you could make it, because we've got a lot of good stuff to show you. But first, let's start with some Covenant pride. Kyrian, take flight. Nightfey, let the hunt begin. Necrolords, to war! Vinthir, let's party. The world has thrown a lot at us since the last BlizzCon, and the thing that's really kept everyone going on the WoW team has been connecting with all of you. The bonds we forge with our guilds and family and friends in WoW are powerful and real. As WoW enters its 16th year and Blizzard celebrates its 30th anniversary, we're so grateful to have the most dedicated and friendly communities in gaming.
I love this guy.
Let's recap the events in Azeroth.
Friendly communities.
In WoW Classic, we fought an endless battle for South Shore and Tauren Mill. We banded together to open the gates of Ahn'Qiraj and joined forces to take down Kel'Thuzad in his floating citadel of Naxxramas. In Shadowlands, we helped our Covenant recover from the Anima drought, brought on by Sire Denathrius, master of the Vinthir and traitor to the Pantheon of Death. We survived the halls of Torghast and crafted legendary gear in our efforts to expel Denathrius from his castle lair. But innocent souls are still wrongfully being sent to the Maw. They face an eternity of torment, and heroes like Anduin remain chained in its depths. The jailer continues to grow in power. He's preparing to break free from the Maw and complete his plan to unmake the entire Warcraft universe. And Sylvanas, you may be wondering what she's been up to all this time. Today, we're excited to unveil our first major content update for Shadowlands, Chains of Domination.
Look around you!
What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
Enough! Join our cause, or be made to serve.
Right now, you hold all the power. Make your choice, Sylvanas Windrunner.
Despite all our efforts, the Maw continues to grow. What if Denathrius' treachery is irreparable? The Primus is lost, and Bastion cannot save the Shadowlands alone.
None of this should have happened.
Perhaps the Winter Queen could...
My Archon, a living soul seeks an audience.
A mortal?
A king. By all our measures, one who has spent his life striving for justice. One who would give anything to serve his people. One whose heart is true.
Very well. He may approach. Step forward. My Ascended have spoken of you. The king held captive in the Maw.
That prison could not hold me forever.
Why have you come to Bastion?
You have a key that I need.
You will release this soul from your grasp.
No. He is bound to me.
Just as you once sought to bind your own brother.
He's back.
That doesn't seem like that would be good.
The vessel performed its part flawlessly. 3 keys remain. Then they will see. Death was never meant to be chained.
They're deleting the Kyrian dude. Awesome.
I mean, that's good, right? Because they were pretty boring. But
I told you they were going to have him possess his soul. I told you.
Oh, Sylvanas Redemption.
Sylvanas Redemption!
That is so intense. I know you probably have a lot of questions about what you just saw and what it means for the next stage of your Shadowlands journey. Later today, my teammates Ian and Jeremy will be telling you more about Chains of Domination in our Shadowlands update. Please check out the World of Warcraft channel to find out more. Next, I'm excited to share our upcoming World of Warcraft charity pet program. We've heard a lot from our community about how much they love
we're
these
having
pets
discussion time in
and the
between subs.
opportunity
They
to
all
give
settle.
to a good cause, along with ideas to make the program even better. So during this upcoming campaign, you'll be able to donate whatever amount you wish to directly support our chosen charity. Once donations reach our goal, everyone playing World of Warcraft will get a pet for their collection as a thank you, whether you were able to contribute personally or not. And to make this a fun challenge, if we reach a stretch goal, everyone gets a second pet too. And here they are. The first pet is Bananas, literally. He was originally available to a select few back in Burning Crusade era, so we're excited to give everyone a chance to adopt him. And if we reach our stretch goal, you'll also get Daisy the Sloth.
Oh, that's actually fire.
She's an all-new pet
That's
that will
actually
hang
pretty
around your
cool.
neck
Okay.
when you need
That's
a hug.
fire.
Your donations during this campaign will go to support the medical
is not me.
humanitarian
Fuck you,
organization Doctors Without Borders, also known by their French name Médecins Sans Frontières, or MSF. They're an amazing group doing important work around the world. We're grateful to have such a generous community, and we hope you'll help support this worthy cause. We'll be sharing the
That's you
details
lot,
about
not
the
him.
charity pet program on the World of Warcraft website soon. So we've talked quite a bit about Shadowlands. Classic players, now it's your turn.
Oh, give
it's
me a
my
new
pleasure
cutscene.
to
Come on,
hand
baby.
off to my
Come on,
teammate,
John.
Holly Longdale. She's a longtime WoW player, a veteran MMO developer, and she's going to tell us what's in store for WoW Classic.
Hi, everybody. First,
Horrifying.
I'd like to thank all of you who have ever been part of the WoW community over the years.
She's imposing.
You know, online worlds like WoW have been a huge part of our lives for decades now. As a dedicated MMO fan and a developer myself, I remember hearing that Blizzard was going to be making their own MMO. And I thought, well, I guess I'll check out that beta. And sure, we all call the game WoW, but really, wow. I could not believe I got bit by the MMO bug again. I was so excited to be able to make a night elf hunter and be like that famous dark elf ranger from the books that I loved. I have to tell you, Azeroth was, and still is, a place I love to live. Since last year, I've had the great honor to work alongside the WoW Classic team to bring these nostalgic experiences back to life for longtime fans and a whole new generation of players. As a fan myself, I've had so much fun in WoW. From the simple things like drive-by buffing or making friends on that long haul from Teldrassil to Ironforge, all the way to the absolutely staggering, like when I jumped blindly through the Dark Portal and was running through Hellfire Peninsula, heard this terrifying noise, and then saw the Fell Reaver. Biggest roamer I had ever seen, and I was very glad I had feigned death in that moment. And that's the thing about WoW. These stories and experiences we all share keep us coming back time after time. With that said, I'm super excited to be able to share with you where our adventures are taking us next.
You dare enter my realm. Your foolishness has brought you to this end. Take my blood and choke on it.
Death to the outsiders!
I'll turn your world upside
down!
You are not prepared!
No remastered cutscene.
Yeah.
Brings back so many memories, right? Like exploring the fungal forests of Zangarmarsh, or being awestruck at the chaotic magic alive in Netherstorm, the Draenei in Exodar, the Blood Elves in Silvermoon. I love playing them both. Do you choose to enlist the Aldor or the Scryers in your quest to fight the Legion? And of course, we can't forget gathering all your friends to fight Illidan at the top of the Black Temple. I can't wait to relive it all with you. Since the team first set out on their own quest to bring the original WoW back to life, we have learned a ton about what players are expecting from this kind of experience. We've also learned when to keep things just as they were, and where we all might be open to some changes. We're bringing all these lessons into Burning Crusade Classic, with our primary goal to bring back the same feeling you had when you faced the Fel Reaver for the first time, or when you were digging through piles of Felhound poop. Of course, we can't get this right without you, our incredible community. Soon, you'll be able to revisit Outland yourself when beta starts and tell us what you think. Later, all WoW Classic players are going to be presented with a meaningful choice for each one of your beloved characters. Do you want to move on into Burning Crusade Classic? Or do you want to stay in the original Classic era forever? Whatever you decide, you can do it all with your one WoW subscription. Now, I know I've thrown a lot at you, but don't worry. We'll be getting into the details in our panel later today. So stick with us. We'll make sure you are prepared. And now we're going to hear
That's
what's coming
actually a
up in
meme
Hearthstone.
that they're not letting you do both. That's a meme.
Greetings. We're truly excited to
I
share
do
with
love
you
the Hearthstone
everything that's
stuff.
coming
It's so
to Hearthstone
wacky
this year.
and cheesy. I love it.
But first, let's take a quick look back at the year of the Phoenix. We added our first
I honestly
new
don't
class,
think I've ever played this.
the Demon Hunter.
It's really fun.
And ventured into the ruthless Outlands. Then we went to Skullman's Academy and got to explore dual class cards and their powerful synergies. And with our third expansion of the year, we brought you Hearthstone's biggest update ever, alongside the menacing old gods in Madness at the Dark Moon Fair. We launched a brand new game mode, Duels, that saw more than 10 million matches on its first day. We also introduced our long-awaited achievement system and made a significant overhaul to the rewards and progression within the game. Now, it's time to say farewell to the Year of the Phoenix and see what's in store for Hearthstone this year. Welcome to the Year of the Griffin. Over the last couple of years, we've made big changes to Hearthstone. Throughout the Year of the Griffin, we want to keep delivering fun, new experiences and make sure that the tens of millions of you playing Hearthstone
If he says the
always
phrase
excited
meaningful choice, I'm
log
going to
in.
bed.
First up, we'll be giving the standard format its biggest shakeup ever, with the launch of the Core Set later this year. The Core Set replaces the old Basic and Classic sets with a collection of 235 cards made up of some of the best from throughout the years, as well as 29 awesome brand new cards. And the best thing about the Core Set is that it's entirely free. So, there's never been a better time to get into Hearthstone. Here are 3 of Hearthstone's legendary dragons, reimagined to feel more up-to-date and competitive for modern-day Hearthstone. Yasera the Dreamer. You'll finally receive her full arsenal of dream cards right away. She's a nightmare for your opponents. Malygos the Spellweaver. He'll fill your hand with spells and is a powerful late-game play, worthy of the aspect of magic. And finally, everyone's favorite black dragon, Deathwing. He's still as destructive as ever, but timed correctly, he won't leave you empty-handed. We'll also be launching a brand new format, Classic, where you can play Hearthstone as it was when it first launched. The Classic format will be fully supported, complete with ranks and rewards using Hearthstone's original set of cards. So, if you want to relive the old school experience,
Is that going to be the
then
most popular
Classic
experience?
is the place for you. With Classic revisiting the past, now let's take a look to the future and explore the first expansion of the year of the Griffin.
Like Deathwing isn't my favorite black dragon.
For a hero of the Horde, all roads lead to the crossroads. You have come for adventure. But the Barons wants to break you. Your axe must be sharp. Your wits must be keen. And your heart must be mighty.
The art style's kind of cool.
It's really good. The cutscenes are awesome for Hearthstone.
Yeah, I like it.
Strength and honor. This is who we are.
Did his totems just come out of the ground? Make that happen in Wild.
Mankirk's wife's going to be a card. 100%. And you have to get
That's
Mankirk and his wife for
We're
some
heading to
combo
one
play.
of Warcraft's most iconic locales, the
telling you.
Barrens, and we'll come face to face with the heroes that inhabit it. Starting with one of the Horde's most iconic and well-known characters, a fierce loyalist, one-time war chief that embodies the honor, loyalty, and spirituality of the Horde, Shadowhunter Vol'jin. Shadowhunter Vol'jin is a neutral legendary that allows you to either bolster your own board or weaken that of your opponents. And to celebrate the announcement of Forged in the Barrens, this card is available for free.
Should be free
for
because he's dead.
everyone later today. So log into Hearthstone and claim your free copy of Shadowhunter Vol'jin. And as a bonus, we're also giving away the brand new 30 Years of Blizzard card back. Next, we have another hero of the Horde who is making his first appearance in Hearthstone. The legendary Blademaster Samuro, featuring the new keyword Frenzy. Frenzy activates the first time a minion takes damage and survives. In Samuro's case, this can be used to clear your opponent's board. Heroes of the Horde, like Samuro, are famous for their combat prowess, but others, like Thrall, are known for their powerful elemental magic. Take a look at this new shaman spell, Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is a spell in a new cycle of cards that rank up and become more powerful when you have 5 and 10 mana, ensuring that they're always useful at every stage in the game. You'll also notice that they're categorized as nature spells. With Forged in the Barrens, we'll be permanently introducing spell schools across the entire game, which enables a whole host of exciting new strategies. And don't worry, members of the Alliance will be featuring some of your most beloved heroes and locales later this year. But what I love most about the Warcraft universe is its amazing characters. And our final announcement is our most ambitious addition to Hearthstone yet. It introduces a brand new way to play with your favorite heroes. Hearthstone Mercenaries. Mercenaries features strategic RPG gameplay, where you build teams consisting of some of the most iconic heroes and villains from the Warcraft universe, including timeless characters like the infamous Sylvanas Windrunner, and Ragnaros, the elemental lord of
little
fire.
Ragnaros was cute.
You can also expect to see some of Hearthstone's fan favorites.
Oh, that's cute as well.
Unstoppable Devilsaur, King Crush, and the ever-growing Gruul the Dragon Slayer. You'll lead them in battle through highly replayable roguelike missions, where the map is randomly generated every time you play, and each node
When
represents
Hearthstone has
a
a better
unique
Torghast than
challenge
WoW.
for your team to take on.
I know. Wow.
Your heroes gain levels, new abilities, equipment, and can even evolve into more powerful versions of themselves. We're thrilled to finally show you Hearthstone Mercenaries. It is scheduled to launch later this year, and
looks really
we'll
fun.
have more to
It does.
share with you down the road. Everything you've seen today.
Gotta be honest with
is
Hearthstone,
a
they just
taste
throw
of what's
ideas at
coming
it and see
in
what
the Year of the
sticks.
Griffin.
I like it.
So don't forget to tune in to our deep dive panel after the opening ceremony, where we'll share more details on the core set, the new classic format, Forged in the Barrens, and our plans for Battlegrounds and Duels, as well as our
Diablo
upcoming
next, right?
single-player content.
Yeah.
I want to thank the team for their amazing
Grabbing a
work.
beer.
Hope it's the
And on
hope it's
behalf
the mobile
of
one.
all of us
Yeah, I need a
at
beer for
Hearthstone,
Diablo.
we want to thank the many millions of you who play our game. Your dedication and support is what drives us to make awesome updates and pursue ambitious and fun ideas. We can't wait to kick off the Year of the Griffin with all of you, and we hope to see you in the game soon. Next up, you'll get an update
it's my
on
stream
all
now,
things
finally.
Diablo.
Fuck yeah, some Diablo. Let me in. Not the mobile one. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Hey everyone.
Less
Thank you
scary
very
than the
much for
classic
joining
lady.
us. I am so
Much
excited
less scary.
to kick off the Diablo segment of our show, and I am honored to be here on behalf of all of our Diablo teams to share the news and updates we have in store for you today. We've got a lot of Diablo to cover, and I hope you'll agree with
Wanna
me
see the
that it's a
gameplay.
great time to be a member of this community.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
let's kick
go.
things off with Diablo 4. We first shared our game with you during BlizzCon of 2019, and we've been truly humbled by your response. We've kept in touch through quarterly updates and sincerely appreciate the thoughts and valuable feedback you've provided as we unveil more and more of the game and share in its development. After all, Diablo belongs to you as much as it belongs to us. Most recently, we teased an update to our campfire screen, and savvy fans, of course, understood that we meant more than just the character lighting and fire visual effects. That's right. Today, we're happy to announce a brave new soul joining the barbarian, the sorcerer, and the druid on this dangerous journey back to Sanctuary. A class is one of the most exciting things you can announce in a Diablo game. This one is especially exciting to me as it's a re-envisioning of one of the first classes to ever appear in the series. Let's have a look.
Oh, come on.
Your prayers do not fall on deaf ears. Just now, they are being heard. There is justice within the light, but you have to be patient. Now, pray with me. May Akarat guide and protect me.
May Akarat guide and protect me.
May he shepherd my soul
May he shepherd my soul.
and grant it mercy.
And grant it mercy.
What are you doing here? This is not the time.
But this is confession. And I have sinned.
Okay, I'm in.
I was a thief who stole from those more fortunate. I strayed from your light and found my trade in the shadows. They call it murder. I say, job well done. murderer, Father. Will Akarat save me?
You mock our light. But those monsters were a scourge upon my flock. And you were the answer to their prayers.
Then we are settled. And you owe me.
The name you seek is... Thank the heavens for you.
Heavens? I assure you, Father, the heavens didn't send me.
Not sure about an ear collection, you. Not sure about an ear collection.
The sound of that ear getting pierced by the hook is so brutal. I feel like it's going to haunt me for a long time. I've been a huge fan of the Rogue ever since the original Diablo. Even seeing them come back as NPCs and mercenaries in Diablo 2's Rogue Encampment served as a great bridge between the games. With the setting of Diablo 4 being a larger world than we've ever played in before, we're excited to show you not just what the successors to the original rogues in the series have been up to since the fall of their order, but also what some of the other rogues in the world of Sanctuary might look like. The mantra for Diablo 4 has been customization first, and the rogue takes this to a whole new level. From the beginning, the rogue has been an incredibly flexible class, able to adapt to any situation. Our goal is to let you create the kind of rogue that you want to play. Whether it's an unrivaled archer modeled after the original Sisterhood, or a cloak and dagger rogue from the darkest alleys of Chaldeum, in Diablo 4, you will have the freedom to create the rogue that you imagine by customizing the looks, the background, and the playstyle of your character. Please stick around for our segment later today, where I'll be joined by other members of the Diablo 4 team to share a closer look at the rogue class, as well as some of the open world gameplay that we're bringing to the game. Spoilers, those severed ears are not just for show.
Good.
But Diablo 4 is not the only Diablo game we're talking about today.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
If you're looking for an authentic Diablo experience
I love this.
on
If
mobile,
you're looking for an
we've got
authentic
you covered.
on mobile.
Diablo Immortal has everything you'd expect from a AAA action RPG. From the visceral combat and epic
Apparently
loot
it's
to an
really
all-new
good. I'm just
story,
telling you, from
bridging
everybody
the
I know
gap
who's played
between
it,
the
it's
events
really
of
good.
Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Later today, you can join the
I'll
Immortal
probably
team,
play it.
where they'll talk about some
I'm
of the
told
things
it's
they've
really
learned
fucking good.
from the
I am.
recent alpha test and what's next for the game. But that's still not all. We have one last bit of very exciting Diablo news to cover.
I'm not lying.
When you hear us talk about the classes, the items, or the stories of the early Diablo games, you may have picked
you're gonna
up
get it,
on
guys.
the absolute reverent tone we
Blademaster.
reserve for that golden era of
Forge.
Diablo. Maybe you share that love of the classics, and just hearing us talk about them makes you want to take on Mephisto or Baal one more time, or maybe even for the first time. After all, some of our favorite moments happened a long time ago and not just in Sanctuary years? If so, we have a special surprise for you today. Let's check it out.
Hashtag some changes, guys, remember.
Was a wonder. Now you know what I seek, Marius. Are these the demons from... Don't do it! It seems not I'm not acceptable. Look what they've done to me.
Arise, Diablo, Lord of Terror.
Is it really 20 years ago? I feel so old.
Though this be our darkest hour, it may yet be your greatest moment.
Play that in the living room for sure. I wouldn't play it on PC.
Can save you from me.
Yeah, maybe console's actually better for that.
I would think
that
so.
looks good though. As long as it's on Switch.
After more than 20 years, the Dark Wanderer has returned. And once again, he travels east. Always east. Diablo 2 is a landmark game for Blizzard. Diablo 2 Resurrected is a full HD remaster of both the original game and the expansion, Lord of Destruction. It takes the 2D sprite-based classic that we love and brings it into the present in 3D, utilizing up-to-date graphical rendering and lighting technologies. It also includes modernizing all 27 minutes of cinematics, recreated shot for shot with the explicit intention of preserving both the look and the pacing of the original movies. Blizzard has a long history of games that we're proud of. And when we think about Diablo 2,
yeah, I was just thinking about Warcraft 3
as a definitive
I know, yeah.
Foundation.
I don't trust this part.
There's no way they're doing that again.
It's funny to think that some of you weren't even born when D2 was released, which makes it all the more important that we deliver an authentic experience wherever you play. We want everyone to relive their memories or experience the game for the very first time on their platform of choice. And so we're excited to bring Diablo 2 Resurrected to PC and console, along with cross-progression. And for those of you who are in love with the original, and you just wish it worked more seamlessly on modern computers, you can bring back all of that nostalgia exactly as you remember and enjoy the game in its original 2D form, much like we did with StarCraft Remastered. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. Later today, Diablo speedrunner Mr. Llama will host a roundtable with members of the development team on the dedicated Diablo channel. If you are a Diablo 2 fan, I encourage you to take a look.
It's so good that gamers have such ridiculous names that they make.
I know.
From
Diablo
Mr. Llama will be hosting. Like
Burning Crusade
Congress talking to deep fucking
to the
value.
Blizzard Arcade Collection. It's a whole lot of looking back. And while we have teams dedicated to bringing these timeless experiences into your hands, it's actually a very small percentage of our developers working on these projects. Far more people are working on the future of Blizzard. And in addition to what we'll be talking about during the show, we can't wait to tell you even more about our plans over the course of this year
Really?
and
No
beyond.
StarCraft? Nothing, eh?
If you had asked us
Nothing.
30 years ago what gaming would look
No
like
Overwatch?
today,
Really?
none of us could have predicted the current Blizzard lineup of games. The advances in technology are one thing, but it's really what those advances have enabled that's even more incredible.
This is
If
the
you
end of the
think
opening
about
ceremony.
the people who
now.
play games and the communities that have grown up around them, the way people can connect instantly, no matter where they are in the world, the way people are increasingly able to express their identity and celebrate who they are through their favorite games, communities, and platforms. The explosion of things like streaming, cosplay, and esports. It would have been hard to imagine any of that 30 years ago. And at Blizzard, that is what excites us about the next 30 years. There is so much that we're working on. And some of it you already know about. The rest, we look forward to talking to you about it when the time is right. Just like the real world, the worlds of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, and Hearthstone are diverse, expansive, and full of potential. We are not only iterating on the experiences that you've come to expect from us, we're also exploring different ways to express our worlds and welcome more players from more places into them. And we aspire to continue to lead on priorities like accessibility and toxicity control, and to continue supporting
You're out,
causes
Finn.
that have a positive
I'm
impact.
gone.
It's
on the
coming
real
for
world.
you.
I know. I'm
We
going to be
wanna
banned.
Continue to bring those same feelings of joy and achievement that we all felt when we first defeated the Lich King, or beat Diablo on hardcore mode. Because when we geek out on those experiences with others, we can't help but see the similarities between us and feel what's possible when we play together. Of course, there are new Blizzard worlds that we haven't visited quite yet. And when we do finally unveil those games and
Don't tease
experiences,
us with new IP, man.
our hope is that you will see in them what we do.
Yeah, don't do
No
that.
matter who you
No.
are or where you're from, they are spaces where you can create new stories, forge new friendships, and
Diablo
Oh,
make memories
Immortal.
worthy of lasting a lifetime. And through it all, our mission statement of being dedicated to creating
It's on a
the
Tamagotchi
most
this
epic
time.
entertainment experiences
Do you not have Tamagotchis?
along with our core values, led by gameplay first, will continue to guide our way. So on behalf of everyone at Blizzard, thank you for being on this journey. For me personally, it is the honor of my professional life to serve you, and the honor of all of us at Blizzard to be the caretakers of the worlds that you play in. We are so excited for what's to come this year, next year, and the next 30 years. Now, what's coming next for the show? Well, it depends on where you watch. For those of you looking for an update on Overwatch, check out the behind-the-scenes look into the development of Overwatch 2 over on their dedicated channel right after the conclusion of opening ceremonies. There, you'll hear about Overwatch 2, new content, new features, including new maps, hero missions, talent trees, and more of what we think will make Overwatch 2 a unique gameplay experience. For World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Hearthstone, you'll get a closer look on their respective channels. And on the dedicated strategy channel, some StarCraft legends will be going head-to-head in epic competition. Once again, welcome to Blizzconline. Be good to one another. Welcome home.
Bill and Teddy does.
Before we kick
Excellent to
things
each
off,
other.
here's a little something from a previous BlizzCon headliner.
Chris?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hello.
We're Metallica.
I cannot listen
Thanks.
to this because I'll get in trouble.
Yep.
All right. I cannot. Chris, swap us over, my dude. If you could be so kind. All right. Hello. We have to get out of... we have to run away from that. James is looking old. Let's move away from that. And we got some tunes going right here. There's the opening ceremony done. We can't broadcast the copyrighted stuff, as you can probably imagine. I have the Warcraft stream ready and ready to go. Finn! Headline moment. Arthas is back. He is inside Manduin. That's him inside. It is. Come on. You think...
It's just Anduin being boring.
Finn's muted. Oh, I can see what's the problem, I think.
What's happened?
You shouldn't be muted. Save?
Fixed?
Okay, we're good.
Good
Yeah,
now?
we're fixed.
Alright, okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Thank God that wasn't broadcast. I was being really mean to you.
I'm saying Arthas is back.
Yeah, it's fine to be wrong. I don't think he's back. I'm gutted. I'm gutted because they clearly teased Sylvanas' redemption arc and they made Anduin kind of boring pawn. Feels bad, man.
Now he's too loud. Make Finn loud. Finn's too loud. I'm adjusting as we go. It's all good. I changed some. That's my fault. I changed some of the volumes coming into the thing so we didn't disturb the videos too much. That's all good. So hopefully it's fine.
So someone in the chat said Uther saluted him. No, he didn't.
No, Uther was like broken-hearted, right?
Uther touched his wound where he'd been controlled by the sword.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have a minstrel because I picked that up. Proud of myself.
Good man, good man. I'm gonna see if we can find the cutscene. Perfect. There we go. Happy to see. The wound. He touched his wound.
Oh God, I said that word in a Scottish accent. Okay,
yes,
I'm not doing that again.
You did. Yes, you did.
He touched his injured part.
Okay, let's watch this again. Are you saying this is not... we're going to flick back over to the cutscene. You don't think this is the power of Arthas in here?
No.
All right.
Look around you! What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
Enough! Join our cause, or be made to serve.
Right now, you hold all the power. Make your choice, Sylvanas Windrunner.
Pause it a sec. There's apparently some info that is in the subtitles. Confirm that was wind whooshing, by the way, not Arthas.
Despite all our efforts,
wind whooshing,
the Maw continues to grow. What if Denathrius' treachery is irreparable? The Primus is lost, and Bastion cannot save the Shadowlands alone.
None of this should have happened.
Perhaps the Winter Queen could...
My Archon. A living soul seeks
Player
an
is
audience.
missed, by the way.
A mortal.
A king.
Yeah, Claire's cool.
By all our measures, one who has spent his life striving for justice. One who would give anything to serve his people.
No one asked any questions about how he got out of the Maw.
There,
or
he's
Torghast.
touching the wound, right? That's all that is. And he's shamed. That's a shamed Bluther.
Yeah, he's touching the wound.
Yeah, he's ashamed of
Yes.
himself. Stop saying
I,
wound,
th-
dude. You're
I,
going to
I
get in
think he
so much
feels the
trouble.
presence of something evil that's like similar to what stabbed him.
Oh, like you're saying that it's like Harry Potter's lightning.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when he feels his scar when Voldemort's around. Exactly.
Yeah. So when Voldemort turns up, Potter's like, "Oh, bastard." That's in the later one. You didn't see that in the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, that was in one of
One
the
whose heart
not safe for work.
is
Harry Potter
true.
that I've watched.
Very well. He may approach. Step forward. My Ascended have spoken of you. The king held captive in the Maw.
That prison could not hold me forever.
Why have you come
And
to
no one has any
Bastion?
questions about how he got out.
You have a key that I need.
You will release this soul from your grasp.
No. He is bound to me, just as you once
It does say jailer. Does say jailer.
sought to bind your own brother.
I mean, come on now. If you had access to somebody's soul and we know that he's in there and you could stick it into some Mandoin.
No, it's not him.
I'm not saying he wanted it. I'm just saying, right? Okay?
Vessel performed its part flawlessly. 3 keys remain. Then
Redemption arc. Look how sad she is. She's coming back home, baby.
She's doubting herself.
She's
I'm
coming
so
back
unhappy.
home.
I'm so unhappy about this.
She's coming home. She's coming. She's coming home. You know it. We are going to be working with her in the final raid of this expansion. It's going to be me, you. Well, you'll be on the bench, but it'll be me, Sylvanas, charging in. Yeah? And we're going to be like,
I don't think that's
Sylvanas
what's going to
is
happen.
here. Yeah.
No.
For real.
they will see. Death was never meant to be changed.
And is that the new place he's pulling in?
Well, yeah, that's going to be the new area for the Maw that he's... A fragment, I think they're calling it. A fragment of stuff coming into the Maw, for wherever they are. Just double checking, our Warcraft stream is live with Blizzard. It looks like they're playing some Hearthstone trailers right now, which is fine. So we've got a lot of stuff here by Chris that's put in here. The TBC announcement just this year. We did not get a date, Finn. No specific date for the Burning Crusade Classic.
Oh well.
Oh well.
That's fine.
Oh no! A lot of people are super hype about having that, and
yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. I'm super. I still think they've made a terrible decision with you have to make a meaningful choice with your character rather than just being able to copy it over. I think that's really dumb.
Why did they mean meaningful choice, Finn?
I mean, I don't think they meme it. I think they really believe it. I think there's something in that organization, a little bit like the jailer, that controls them to say things like meaningful choice. I'm surprised their eyes don't glow blue when they say it, honestly.
It's a meaningful choice. IRL, their eyes start to glow. Oh my god, that would be pretty horrifying if that was to happen. But no, we didn't get that at all. What did you think of the Rogue joining Diablo 4 and the Diablo 2 remaster? I've never played Diablo 2. I would rather play that over 4, honestly, and see what the hype is about.
I'm actually more hyped for 4 than the rest of Shadowlands.
Wow, really?
No meme. Yeah. No meme. I'm very excited for Diablo 4. I mean, I'll play it relentlessly when it comes out, and then it'll revert back to Diablo 3 like it is for now, where I play it for 2 days at the start of every season, then I drop it again. But I don't know. The stuff looks really cool. The Druid looked really good. The Rogue looks really good. Yeah.
It's going to cut us over to here, but it appears the deep dive
principal
is just
producer for WoW Classic.
But it's a WoW
a little bit about my
deep dive?
background. I spent 13 years working on EverQuest. I started as a game designer and eventually became the head of the studio for the EverQuest franchise. That said, I've always been a WoW player since beta. So this is obviously a dream come true for me, and I'm thrilled to be here.
What's with the lighting?
I'm Patrick Dawson. I'm the production director for World of Warcraft. I've been at Blizzard for 15 years now.
and have been on WoW for most of that time. Avid
It
WoW
might be
player
both.
myself.
I'm interested what
and
changes
really
they're going to
excited
make to
open up
Classic.
that dark portal again as we all step through it.
Class
And my name's
balance?
Brian Birmingham, and I'm the lead software engineer on WoW Classic. I've also been at Blizzard for 15 years. I started on
my
World of
memory
Warcraft.
of
I
the
spent
Burning
about 3
Crusade
years on
is that
Hearthstone
I
as well,
stopped
and then
playing
came
WoW
back
and
to
I
the
didn't
World of
pick up again
Warcraft
for
team to
like
work
3
on WoW
years.
Classic, and it has
So
been a
that's,
great joy to me to
I
work
don't
on
know.
this
I don't
team.
even know what the game
There's a lot
looks
to
like.
talk about today.
Yeah.
I haven't played
So
a second
earlier
of
we
the Burning
announced,
Crusade
yay,
while it was
Burning Crusade
actually
Classic is coming. But there's a lot more to it.
Wow.
Let's take a look at the features.
I couldn't.
'cause-
This is way
wow.
off of my.
Wow. Right. I was so excited by playing Draenei and Blood Elves. I played both, and I will say my heart's with
Ooh,
Alliance.
that's not pretty.
It
is really loud, isn't it?
And
That's
I
not
also
like
took
half
up dual
volume.
crafting on my Draenei Shaman. I wanted to corner the market. Just the whole notion of having items with sockets and just exploring that whole system. I'm also a bit of a systems nerd. So I completely lost my time.
I love how they have to do the business thing of like being really excited about their job in front of their boss. Like they're obviously not going to be
I have
like,
a great
yeah,
job,
this is
and I
sucked.
can't get this excited.
all the new
Like, in our
features
meetings,
was like
I'm not this
this really
excited.
moment of like,
I'm like,
I
we're
just
gonna-
love my job. Please don't fire me.
And one of the things that
Like in our meetings, I'm like, yeah, so you're going to drag me
Horde
across the
having
floor,
paladins,
and it's going to
Alliance
be kicking
having
and
shaman.
screaming, and it's going to be really
I mean,
hilarious.
as an avid PvPer
I
myself,
was like, yeah,
I
sounds
remember
fun.
going back and trying to fight shaman. I was Alliance back then. And just not understanding that class at all because my team didn't have it. So like I try to poly them and
What is
and then
this?
Be
This
like
is a
grounding
deep dive
totem.
or
I didn't know what that
Nostalgia Road?
was. And it's just like why are shaman immune to
I
everything?
mean, why are they going to deep
That's
dive?
not
It's
what you
already a
said.
game that
Yeah, no,
exists.
but
Like
no,
I
I
don't.
did.
No,
It's
you
got to be the
said
changes.
they're
It's got to be.
I understand.
But they don't know. I mean, they said in the thing that they don't know what the changes are going to be, right?
Oh, it's called a
Like
deep
now I
dive.
started to
Yeah, it is
understand
called a
Shaman
deep
little
dive.
bit
They had
better.
a title before
We
started.
got some of their benefits. You know, I actually like got to see totems being placed down on my side for once, and got to see the frustration of dealing with Bubble Hearth on the other.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing
There's gotta be
raids,
laugh memes
we were
throughout
always
all this,
jealous
Finn.
of the Alliance having paladins for Blessing of Salvation. Like, people would be pulling aggro off me, and I'd be yelling at them, like, wait for 3 Sunders! And the Alliance is just like, no, it's no problem, just go.
Yep. So hey, I mean, you know, we were upset raiding like Razor Gore without Earthbind. I mean, it really even the playing field for both PvE and PvP, which was kind of cool. But there were a ton of new features and just abilities with this too. You know, as we got to level 70,
there
we
not
got to
tooltips
experience
on
new
spells?
things, new things. I remember one of my first experiences with
There were.
understanding what it meant, but for like.
Because you could just read what the spell does, right?
Oh yeah. Because I was an engineer, right? I wasn't a designer. I was working on like the live ops team at the time, and you know, I was playing my class, avid player of mage, and I kept.
I'll give this a
sent
few
long
minutes,
email to
but we've
Tom
got other
Sheldon
things to talk
saying,
about
like,
if we
hey,
don't get anywhere.
you know, here's what mage needs.
Dawson Manifesto.
So it was a well thought out forum post. And what was in it was things like bring back invisibility, let's get a threat dump in the class. And I didn't even necessarily tie those two together, but he was like, that's a pretty good idea, let's get mages invisibility. And just knowing that skill was coming along with some other new stuff for mages like the Molten Armor, the Ice Lances, was just really cool to see all this new stuff in Burning Crusade.
On the other side of that, I was really excited about Spell Reflect because I was really frustrated getting polymorphed and being able to like reflect that back on the mage.
As a mage, I was not excited for you to get
I bet you weren't. And there were even some PvE encounters that that had abilities that you could reflect back. So I remember that was really fun to kind of find ways to time that and use it as a defensive ability as well.
I was a hunter.
Mm-hmm. I'm a hunter
Also
now,
a hunter.
actually. Yeah, I've switched.
To minimize you off.
But I remember just chasing Beastmaster and just DPS.
Yep.
That was it. That was the chase. Yeah.
Talking about that too makes me think of like the arenas and the arena system. That was a whole new world for us, you know, with battlegrounds and the way they worked before. Like the way the matchmaking happened. Usually, I was pretty competitive in PvP, so I would either get in there and stomp the enemy team,
yeah.
who was just there to be casual,
yeah.
or you know, even though like we were a good
Well,
team,
can you
we
spell
weren't, like,
reflect?
the
Reflect.
best of the best. So when we ended up going against one of those teams, it was just
gotta
like,
pop.
well, geez, we're just getting stomped now. This is tough.
I
Arenas
really am
gave
genuinely
everyone an
interested in what they're planning to
opportunity
change.
Play against equal-minded
I genuinely
opponents,
am.
right? So
I'm
if
not
you
like
were a
leaving
little
this
bit
on
more
just
casual,
for
you get
content.
the
I'm
opportunity
hoping
to
they
play
talk
against
about
people
it.
who weren't maybe so competitive. Or if you were like cutting edge, go for it. Like try to be the best of the best. And what was great about that is it really just it spawned an esport. Like that wasn't we didn't design it for
I'm
that.
just
We just wanted people to have fun.
reflecting.
But when we noticed like, hey, everybody's playing this, everybody's like competing in this, people are watching it, we had to embrace that. We started featuring it at BlizzCons, and we've been doing it every year since.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I think one of my favorite things to recollect was the exciting zones that you would travel through. One of my favorite memories was actually in the first zone, Hellfire Peninsula, and it was adventuring around in Hellfire Peninsula, going around and doing all those quests, and always living in fear of the Fell Reaver. Because you'd be out there collecting parts
I never died
from,
to the
a
Fell
broken
Reaver.
Zeppelin,
You must be pretty
and
shit to die
and
to
you'd
a
be
Fell
fighting
Reaver,
off your
right?
hellbores, and then
It's
all of a
massive.
sudden you'd see the screen start to shake.
Did you
and
die
like,
to a
these
Fell
thump,
Reaver?
thump, thump, and then
What a massive, huge mob that
you're
moves
like, oh my God, I gotta
relatively
run, he's
slowly
right on top of me.
towards
I
you.
never got the thing with the Fell Reaver.
I
was
don't get it,
terrified.
man.
Even in life, it's
It's
just
not
bingo.
terrifying at all. It's just in the way.
It sneaks up on you, but the most famous aspect of it is its loud
and they give you
sound.
the quest. They're like, could you
Yeah.
get me a part from inside the Fell Reaver? You're gonna have
I
to
don't.
kill
I
him."
don't play with
And you're
game
like,
sounds
that
at
guy?
all.
Like that guy that used to terrorize me? They're like, yeah, I think
Or a
we can take
monitor.
him. And that was just, it was an exciting
So,
payoff to be able to,
it's kinda-
bring that full circle. And go back
For me,
For that authentic classic experience, I have no game sound on my
I could see the construction sign for some
It
of the
just comes
zones,
through
and
on my
of course I ignored
calculator
it,
screen,
Yeah.
frame by
and went
frame.
and explored. So I remember running through Blade's Edge and just seeing dragon
Imagine doing Blade's Edge before you had flying,
impaled,
noob.
in the environment, and then moving
What a
on to
noob.
Netherstorm. I just was
No
blown
one did
away,
Blade's
even
Edge
from
before flying.
Zandermarsh all the way through. Everything felt like its own world, and just to be able to go through that, and just the delight of it, and the epicness of it, and then you come up to Area 52. That's what I love about WoW. is
Best
you can
zone in the
have
game,
epic
Netherstorm.
storylines
Easy.
and still find lightness in it. So I just loved it. I love it. I'm an explorer, so.
You know, for me, I remember Burning Crusade really opened up
Wrong?
a new gameplay.
Netherstorm is easily the best zone in this game. Suramar?
And it kind of started with the
Alright, if you like crack houses, I suppose.
Because I got my outer rep all the way up,
I mean-
and then I was thinking about switching to Scryer, and people were like, "You're
Wrong.
insane, you don't
Nagrand?
and I was
quite
like,
clear
Field.
with Dan,
you know, just
to be
to prove
honest.
people wrong.
After it
and I
got
did.
blown up.
And it was cool. It was really
Yeah.
fun. But then I started doing other things.
The
Like
maw.
new, like mounts and pets, and I went back and even got some of the older reps like Thorium Brotherhood and
What
Winter
about
Strike.
Artemeal, though?
But then like things like
What
Netherworld
about
Ledge
it?
came out. The
What
world just
about
opened
it?
up for me in Burning
Shit
Crusade.
all.
to
awesome,
really start
dude.
my collection.
I swear
Of
to
course,
God,
we
if
also
I could
had
burn
flying
that
mounts,
place, I would.
which I love.
It's the best looking
and
zone
then
they've ever made.
decided to play with some
Fight
friends
game.
on a PvP server. And
From a
was running
distance,
around
right?
Hellfire, Death from Above, which is likely just Pat.
Probably.
Yeah.
Were you flying around harassing people, Pat?
Yo, this guy's toxic, Blizz.
So
Ganker.
that's just a quick look at some
Honestly,
of our memories for
disgusting.
Burning Crusade, and that was 13 years ago. So that code has been hanging around for 13 years. And we're not just doing a save
All right,
as
we're getting
Burning
somewhere. Here we
Crusade
go.
Classic.
Oh no, it's a lot harder than that.
So let's get into some of those details.
So one of the challenges has been that we don't actually want to ship on the old code, and the reason for that is because it's got a lot of bugs and difficulties
What,
with the architecture that we
Crusade?
don't
No
wanna-
way.
we don't want to have to deal with. But we do want that old data, and we talked about this when we did the original launch of Classic. Was how the data is really the thing that describes how the game is supposed to be played and what things are supposed to happen in it. And so we want to bring that old data and we want to run it on the modern code, the same as we did for Classic. And there's like 750,000 rows of data that we have to go through and convert from their old formats to their new formats.
Copy and paste, right?
Fortunately, we have really talented engineers.
so.
And
Control
we
F,
run automated
replace,
scripts that go
easy.
through this. But even after we've run these scripts, we have to compare them with with how it used to behave and make sure that we've actually done the conversion correctly. And then there's even some things that are making it more difficult this time, like the fact that we've made a couple of minor changes or bug fixes in the classic data, and we want to make sure that we keep those as we're going into Burning Crusade. So we have to merge those changes with the changes that happened with the Burning Crusade originally, and make sure that we have a coherent set of changes that make sense to bring us from classic into the Burning Crusade.
There's an enormous amount of
That's not
time
actually that
spent
much.
looking at, okay, this is how it came out now. We have
Not
a
to-
reference
Not
client.
to shit on everyone's
Yeah.
parade.
Do you think
but
they're going to launch it on a
250K
later?
is not that big.
That's right. We
Class
actually do
balance
use
patch
the old
that
code
they
for
did with
that.
Classic?
So like we still have it. We just don't want to ship on that anymore. But we have like the
Probably,
old
yeah.
code with the old data, knows exactly how it's supposed to behave. So those things work together, and we can bring that up internally and take a look at it and say like, okay, this is how it was back then. This is exactly what it used to look like. And we do sometimes find things
Hope
that
so, Amelia.
are bugs we still want to fix, but a lot of times it will tell us like, oh, this thing is not a bug. This is actually the intended behavior, or this is something we don't really remember, right?
That's
There's a
hired me
tendency
for
to
data
wanna
transfer.
chase your
I'd
own
do it like
memory,
5
I
minutes.
remember it being like this, and it's like
Just open it up in
no,
Notepad, right?
It's
Easy.
not always exactly the way you remember it. Everybody
I
has
have
that
Notepad
kind of human
Plus.
failing, even us, and so a lot of times we'll have an argument about I remember it this way. Well, I remember it this way. Let's go and check. We can look.
Well, you know, another reason to ship on the new code is really just the years of stability improvements and the fact that the world didn't look the
Convert
same
to PDF,
back
right?
in 2007 as it
Word
does
wrap.
today. Like, there wasn't cloud architecture at that point. I remember I had the privilege of being on,
I don't know where it
on
is,
live ops
but,
team where I got to see what all the
this
servers
was
looked
just
like
World of
and how it was all
Warcraft. What's
architected.
next?
And to pull
We
back
are on the
curtain,
right
this-
channel,
the
right?
way
It's
it
supposed to be WoW.
is
What's
everything was
next?
its own
Instead, we've got a World of Warcraft
server,
Burning
right?
Crusade
Like, they
deep
didn't really
dive.
talk
We
to
are on
each
the
other
right
very well.
thing, yeah.
So each
It's a coding
each
deep
realm
dive,
had
if
11
anything.
blades on it. And these blades
Well, it's
were
not
just
even
bare
what's
metal
next.
blades,
They've
and,
changed
like,
it,
one
right.
blade was for Azeroth, one blade was for Kalimdor, one was for Outland.
No,
and
don't
then we
do
had some
that.
for instances. And you know, back then, what would happen without cloud is you
Oh,
would
yeah,
try to
MMO Champs
request
updated it as
resources,
well.
and maybe a lot of people were
Oh,
running
this is
dungeons
actually
on
going
it.
off in
And
a
so it
minute.
would give
Yeah,
you
yeah,
back
yeah.
things like transfer aborted, instance not found.
All right, this is only on for the
Like,
next
we don't
few
want to go
minutes.
back to those days. So now we can take advantage of things like the cloud and not have those resource issues. So shipping on this new code is a big.
Okay, so what they've done is they've done the
so
burning.
we're basically-
There's
we're
no
weaving all
what's
these
next
threads
anymore.
together. We
I
did
see.
finally get a
Okay, so
build
they
for
put in
Burning
what's
Crusade
next
Classic.
to hide
Super
the
excited.
TBC announcement.
The team gets together.
So
we're
they're doing
preparing for a
this one,
playtest,
and then they're
we
going
go to
straight
create
into
our
the
characters,
Shadowlands one.
And we
Okay.
see.
So, but that means we're only going to
this
get,
Blood
guys,
Elf who, you know, he remembers
25
his son
minutes of
well.
Shadowlands according
He
to
forgot
this.
his pants.
Yeah.
So there's not that
So
much.
everything didn't work the first time.
No.
I know.
No, there's not
I did
actually.
mention like we had
There's not
to
actually that much
check
content.
for problems in those conversion
Let
scripts.
me just check if they've updated anything else. There's still the
Sure
Q&A
enough,
tomorrow.
What's going on here is that this guy thinks
Just give us a minute, okay?
you
I'm
can
sure
see
it's
why he thinks
hilarious.
he's stressed.
Yeah, so what they've done is they've dropped out the what's next. They've changed it to the Burning Crusade deep dive. Then they're going to do the Shadowlands update in a few minutes.
system works is we
And that's it.
first put the geometry up for all the items.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Now they've got the World of Warcraft Voices of the Afterlife, which is what's going to follow it up instead. So they have 25 minutes to cover everything we found out in the leak. So I imagine they're just going to go through that.
Yeah, 25 minutes is not much to say.
Isn't
There's
our
tier
video
sets.
on the leaks longer than
You know.
25 minutes?
Yeah, I know. By the way, guys, there's tier sets that you can equip to Legos. All the fun stuff they've not told us about yet. You know.
Yeah.
I wanted to try
Interesting.
Nye because
Okay.
that's, where my heart lies on an alliance.
All right, let's give these a few minutes to see if they say anything
And,
worthwhile,
this
because the
Draenei
other
gets
things
to
coming up
be,
shortly anyway.
heads above the rest.
That's not the Exodar.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
It's done Morrow, right?
It is, and that's exactly the problem. It looks like the Draenei's too tall, but the real problem is that we're in the wrong place. And so, yeah, when you go to the Dunmorrow character select screen, of course, the camera is positioned for much shorter races like gnomes and dwarves, and so it's about knee high on a Draenei.
And then water. Really, Brian? We have water in Hellfire.
Yeah,
crazy.
so
Go for a swim.
it turns out that Outland has a funny, unique feature that it doesn't have any oceans because the water just all falls off the edges and goes out into space or something like that. I'm not sure how that works in the game universe, but
Magic.
but yeah, there's no ocean there. But we had accidentally flagged it to generate ocean, so we ended up flooding the entire world with an ocean.
What's this?
until
They
we,
couldn't get the water
found
to
time
work
turn
or
it back
what?
off.
So through all of these processes, yes, we're obviously we're fixing what is broken, but also we thought it was a good time to start enacting what we call #some changes.
Oh shit!
To gameplay and how things should work.
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like Classic, our guiding principle was no changes. The goal was to provide as true to life, authentic experience of Classic that we possibly could for the community, and we accomplished that. What was interesting to me is to see this vibrant community that embraced it and then said, "Hey, but we're not exactly the same as we were 15 years ago, right?" And they're right. Like the times have changed, the world has changed, and so some of those things that maybe were out there that were not great and were warts back in the day is not something that we would want to ship again. Like something that feels a little buggy or wrong or incorrect. So the idea behind this is let's provide what the Burning Crusade experience was without those warts.
This really, I think, illustrates the difference is spell batching. we actually had a lot of requests originally for spell batching in that kind of no changes charge, where they said, hey, I remember when I used to be able to have 2 mages polymorph one another, and they would both end up polymorphed. And that's cute and fun, and I kind of like that. And so we said, okay, well, we can put that back in. But the system that causes that is, of course, that the spells are batched up and processed in these giant batches. But over the last 2 years, people realized that what that comes with is about a half a second of kind of built-in latency, where you push a button and it doesn't actually take effect for that half a second while it's waiting to queue up the other ones to go with it. And people were starting to find that frustrating. I talked to a lot of people who said they were excited about it when it first came out with Classic, but after they've been playing with it for 2 years, they're really ready to see it go, and we're ready to take it out too. So we're going to remove spell batching with Burning Crusade.
That's definitely great, because I remember like every 2 weeks I get a bug report, Vanish is broken again. And it was because of stuff like this, right? Like if you vanish at the same time a fireball's hitting you, it's going to pop you out, right?
Exactly.
Like, and so we were trying to do all these tacky solutions to it, but the real answer is just don't spell batch.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the ability to do that then, so glad we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Another one that I can think of is just how the raiding community has matured, right? Like things were very different back in 2004, 2005 timelines compared to today. So, the raiding community knows exactly what's going on, and they want a challenge. They want more of a challenge. So,
gotta make the raids
rather
harder.
than always giving them like the last version of the boss, the final form of the boss, which maybe has been hit with a few nerfs, let's not do that anymore. Let's give them a more challenging version of the boss. I'll give you an example of like Muru. Right, where the initial version of that boss had a lot of spell pushback, and so like that made it really tough to bring casting classes to that fight. We did fix that pretty quickly and change the fight to allow for that. Now that's a change we probably would incorporate in this, right? Like we don't want
really
people
annoying.
to feel excluded or not part of being able to do a fight like that. But then probably a month or so after that, we nerfed Muru's health. That doesn't need to happen. Let's just keep it in the hard form. We can evaluate any changes we need to make after that, but it won't just be like, hey, final form, we're not even going to look at it. Let's call it a day. So.
Yeah. So how did your mage handle the pushback?
I just
It
feels personal. Yeah.
No, I was
so they're not actually going to buff bosses.
It's just going to have the one mage allowed to go.
Yeah.
That was honestly, that's one of my favorite fights ever in World of Warcraft. That was a really, really fun fight.
That's awesome. Another change that we're talking about making is along the lines of the PvP balance.
They're still going to get smashed in like 5 minutes anyway. So
obviously, with Burning Crusade, Paladins are introduced to the Horde, and Shamans are introduced to the Alliance. And that was intended to be a balancing of the factions, and let's make them even. And then they wanted to kind of keep a little bit of flavor of that faction identity, so they kept Seal of Blood on the Horde and Seal of Vengeance on the Alliance. It was intended to be equivalent power abilities that were just slightly different in flavor, but in retrospect, Seal of Blood was just much better. And so one of the changes that we are going to make is we are going to give the opposite factions Seal to the other faction, but we're going to do that at max level. So we keep just a little bit of that faction identity. Horde will get Seal of Blood at level 64 on schedule, and then get Seal of Vengeance at level 70.
No
and similarly,
way.
the Alliance will get Seal
Piss
of
off,
Vengeance
Alliance
at level
Paladins,
64,
fucking
and
losers.
then their equivalent, Seal of the Martyr, at level 70. Another thing we want to talk about is arena teams. When it first came out in Burning Crusade, the arena team system only let you have the same number of players on your team that was the size of the bracket it was for. For example, a 3v3 team could only have 3 players on the team. So if someone was like sick or unavailable one night, you couldn't play. And that felt really frustrating. So we're definitely going to go with like the last version of that, where you could have twice the size of the bracket on your team roster, so that you had alternates you could swap in and out.
I miss arena team names
and then
as
that
well.
way, as long as anybody
always
had
good fun,
participated
man.
in, I think 30% of the matches, then they got the full credit for the week of participation.
Is that when we did personal ratings versus team ratings?
I think that came later, and we're also considering whether or not we want to do something with that as well. Because another thing that was problematic about arenas was the way that the ELO system was so inflationary. And so we're talking about whether or not we want to move forward with converting that to something more like the modern MMR system, so that it isn't as punishing to people in terms of like waiting hours for a match at the highest levels and things like that.
And another change, we're going to give players access to Blood Elf and Draenei early, so that before we actually open the Dark Portals, you'll have a chance to level those up.
That's
That's
nice.
definitely not something we did originally.
I remember I had a friend who was really frustrated that the rest of us were all running around in Outland, and he was like, I'm still back in wetlands. Yeah.
That's a really nice
What is
change.
going on? When can I play with you guys? So yeah, I'm really glad we're doing that.
Yeah.
Doing that with pre-patch?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yep.
Is,
Has he only just
pre-patch will
found
come
out?
and you'll be
Shouldn't he
able to
know?
go start your Blood Elves and
Yep.
Draenei.
And then Content. So we've got some phases happening.
Yeah. So the content phases that we got coming are exciting. We're going to start with Karazhan and Gruul's Lair and Magtheridon's Lair. And we want to start with just that released because we found with Classic that people really enjoy that kind of gear progression. And that's where all the tier 4 gear is with those raids. And we want people to have an opportunity to level up, catch up to their friends, and all kind of go through these things together. So as we unlock each chapter, we want to make sure
they don't want people
to
consume the expansion
be
in
part
like
of
2
that chapter.
days.
And the next chapter after that will be Phase 2, which will be Serpent Shrine Cavern and Tempest Keep.
Yeah.
Then next we move on to Phase 3,
exciting
which
phase,
is Hyjal and the Black
It's
Temple.
not limiting people killing everything.
And the reason
in
that's
the
a change is, of
makes
course,
sense,
originally
though, right?
Hyjal was
People would be up
was
to the Black
available
Temple within the first
from
week.
the launch of Burning Crusade,
That's
but
not
nobody
due
could
for
really
like
get in
a
there
year
because of the way
if
the
they
attunements
keep it
work. So
similar
we'll
timings.
unlock that as a later chapter alongside Black Temple. And then that'll go with Arena Season 2 at that point. And then Arena Season 3 will come out alongside Zulaman with a little bit of catch-up gear for anybody who's taken that long to catch up. It's another smaller instance, a 10-man. And then finally, Phase 5 will be Sunwell and Arena Season 4.
It's been a very busy year.
Yeah, it is. It's an expansion with a lot in it.
Yes.
A lot in it.
And so we spent a lot of time talking about Burning Crusade Classic.
So
and
far, all
Burning
these changes have been
Crusade,
really, really good.
Which is exciting. We're very excited about it, but there's a lot
They seem
to
to
talk
make
about.
sense.
There's a lot coming, and we want to walk through how this is going to materialize.
Well, yeah, really the question is, we have a diverse player base where people have a lot of different wants and needs. And how do we get there? How do we get to the Burning Crusade? Well, the first group of people that we wanted to make sure that we were serving well is those people who do want to go to the Burning Crusade. We feel that most of the community is interested in this. They're going to want to do this. We want to make it simple and easy for them. So how are we going to do that?
As we said earlier, you're going to be able to make a choice. So we'll talk about and explore these choices in some detail, and I'll give you some examples. So to start with
good question.
the
Will they
servers you're on now,
time-gate the
Classic
Sunwell
Live
again?
servers are going to become
really hope
what we're
not.
calling progression servers. And what that means is the
Especially if
servers
they're
that are
putting, like,
live now
additional
will
gates.
always unlock any expansion we
changes.
release. So when we get to our patch day, you're going to be presented with a choice. Do you want to continue on into the Burning Crusade, or do you want to move to Classic? So in that space, you're going to do that for every single character. So for my example, I'm on Worm Rest Accord. So I've got a level 60. I am definitely taking that on through to Burning Crusade. But I've got a couple of mid-levels that I know I want to move with my friends. Those are characters I level with my friends in Classic, and I want to continue that journey with them. We want to make it as easy and seamless as possible to just get right into Burning Crusade, but there are options.
It sounds to me like they're making consolidated Classic servers.
There's a lot of my friends, for example, who maybe
I just don't know why you can't
didn't
do both.
really play Classic when it first
I
came out.
think they're
right?
assuming
And
there's
so
going
now
to be
they're
way
behind.
less Classic players after this
And they're
happens.
interested in playing the Burning Crusade. This was, for a lot of people, their favorite expansion that we've done. We want to make sure that those people are served too. And one of the ways we could do that is provide a boost to people who are interested in coming back that maybe aren't interested in doing the classic WoW experience but really want to hop right into Outland as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so the team, we spent quite a bit of time discussing it because we want to make sure we respect the time of the people that have been playing Classic for 2 years. But also, we want people to be able to enjoy Burning Crusade if they loved it the first time and maybe miss Classic. So
yeah, it's garbage.
We are going to offer a level 58 boost for purchase, but it does come with some restrictions. So it's going to be 1 per account. It's not going to be usable on Blood Elf or Draenei. It'll have some dungeon blues. It'll have level 40 mount skill, no professions. It's the basics, basically your Outland starting kit.
That's cool. That's a really great way to jump into the game for sure.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll be looking forward to that. Look, I know a lot of people came back to play WoW Classic, and that's all they want. That's all they ever wanted. They're like, you know what, Burning Crusade, that's awesome. I'm sure some people are going to love that, but for me, I came back for WoW Classic. What do they get to do? What's their options?
Yeah, that was really important for us too.
Yeah.
So we had all sat down and discussed like how we should frame this. So when we get to our patch day, which is prior to the Dark Portal opening, when I said before, like, I'll go back to my example for Worm Rest, we will be launching Classic Era Realms at the same time as we do our patch, and you will have that choice. So when you make the choice to go to Burning Crusade Classic, or you make the choice, like on my example, my level 40 Druid, I want to move that character to Classic
Excellent
Era.
question.
And what Classic Era means is that those particular servers are going to stay in that era forever. So that is going to remain classic till the end of time. It's never going to unlock expansions. You'll be able to make that choice for every single character. Do you go on to Burning Crusade, or do you choose to go to Classic Era? Let's say, you know, you're behind the times a little bit. You'll still be able to have that choice. We haven't locked it to a time window. You're not going to miss the boat to Era.
The choice sounds awesome. And choice in WoW is something that's meaningful. It's always been meaningful.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that's important when we look at the community, that you're going to choose to go to the Burning Crusade or you're going to choose to go to Classic. You know, some people may not be comfortable with that choice. And while we think that choice is important, we also recognize that there are folks that are going to want to play both, right? Like, yeah, see,
right here.
Maybe you have some stuff left to do in Classic that you wanted, and you want to keep that character in Classic, but you also are interested, that same character wants to raid with your friends.
That's exactly
TPC. Right. So what does that look like? How do we make that happen?
So we're going to actually offer a paid service to let you make a copy of your character. And I know, like, a copy's a big deal. So, like you said, like, this is something we don't want to make just an automatic choice for everybody. But I know that for me, it really is going to be like that pull to go to both places. So I want to be able to say, like, you know what? I'm willing to pay some money for this. I want a copy of my character that lives in Classic Era forever, while I also go to Burning Crusade with that with that character. And that way I can stay with my friends who are really excited to go to Karazhan. I'm really excited to go to Karazhan. I want to see my hunter go through Karazhan, but if I'm missing like a couple pieces of my tier 3 set from Naxxramas, I still have an opportunity to go find a new guild there and go through Naxxramas again until I finish that set.
We're going to be spending a lot of time communicating these details. So even as much detail as we're giving now, it's very high level. There's going to be a lot more detail to come, so keep an ear out. But with that said, so Pat, when's all this happening?
Oh. Soon.
Yay!
So yeah, this is something that, you know, is important to get. People are still playing through Naxxramas. We want to make sure that they have enough time to do that. But we are looking at this will be happening in 2021. For sure, we are committed to doing that. And what we're looking at is starting the beta rather soon. So hopefully that beta will go up and we'll get that running. The community can come and participate, help us out. We'll start to hear some feedback on the things we've talked about today. Well, if there's any adjustments we need to make, we want to make sure we have a long enough beta period for that to happen. And then we'll get that out to the players so you can all enter the Dark Portal.
Yay!
Yeah, it's exciting.
Realistically, Blizz.
So any final words?
Yeah, I just talked about the beta, and you know, I will say just to the community, you all have been so instrumental in making Classic the success that it has been, and you will be equally
How
instrumental
much
in
realistically
making the
should
Crusade
this cost?
a tremendous success also. So please get in that beta, play, give us your feedback. We want
Like,
to hear all
realistically,
about it. So,
how
enjoy,
much should that
welcome,
cost?
and let's have some fun.
Yay!
Yeah, and it's been the highlight of my professional career to work on WoW Classic and have the support and love of this community. It is really special to me, and I'm really excited to be sharing this with all of you in the Burning Crusade.
Yeah, and for me, I've been playing Classic since it launched.
That's no meaning.
And I wasn't working at Blizzard then, and it's changed my life, obviously. So from me and the entire WoW team, we want to thank you for bringing Azeroth to life for us.
You think they're going to charge $60 for that?
We will definitely be seeing you in game in whatever flavor you choose. And until then, stay classic.
Stay classic.
Stay classic.
Stay classic, man.
No.
Stay classic.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Well, that was surprising, to say the least, dude. So the copy is there. I think that's going to be the talking point, right? If you want both. So a couple of things.
Paid copy is...
Oh, it's rough, right?
Spice. I think that's a terrible idea, honestly. But it'll make them a ton of money. But I think that's a bad idea. But
that is a cashy grab. I wonder if that's how they're justifying, because it's rolled into your World of Warcraft subscription, right? So from a business perspective, playing devil's advocate, is that how they're hoping to justify the cost of doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll have additional servers to run and stuff, so it probably makes sense, but...
It just feels rough, right?
That feels weird and kind of bad. I don't like that at all.
I wonder what's going to happen then with the... I mean, they're assuming that... They're obviously working off the basis that they expect an enormous percentage of people playing Classic to go to the Burning Crusade, right?
Yeah, they must do.
Yeah, and everyone else they're going to ship off to these Classic era servers. So you'll be taken off your server anyway. Seemingly, you'll probably just get this login choice. Do you want to do X or Y? And then they'll ship you off one way or the other to either this progression server or to the Classic one. They are correct. I think they are correct. I would go with that gut instinct that most people are going to transfer over to the Burning Crusade. I really like the changes though, Finn. Like everything they talked about is fine. The Seal of Blood change is good. It was a big problem that was going on all the time. Like the Alliance Ret Paladins were like, this is just bullshit. Like, makes no sense. I was unsure what they meant about the raid bosses, Finn. So, are they referring, and maybe someone can refresh my memory on this, but the Sunwell got hammered into the ground when the expansion was coming to the end? I don't remember Miru. I remember the pushback change because it was just infuriating. But was it nerfed after that? So we're getting like pre-nerf?
I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. They're still going to be easy.
Yeah. I'm really okay
just
with
to bait everybody.
Oh, I think this is starting. Oh, it's Ian. Let's go.
Here with all of you to celebrate 30 years of epic entertainment experiences from Blizzard.
A legend.
And of course, out of all of those, the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart is the World of Warcraft expansion, Shadowlands. And that's what we're here today to talk about.
It's looking into my fucking soul. I love it.
The development experience for Shadowlands over the course of last year was unforgettable for all sorts of reasons. But it's also something that really has taught the team, taught all of us, a lot of lessons about World of Warcraft and how we can make the game better for all of you going forward. Because Shadowlands wasn't just the product of our development team's efforts last year, it was a product of your efforts as well. It was the product of a conversation between us, the development team, and all of you, the players, the community who inhabit this world that we're the custodians of. The beta for Shadowlands started earlier than any beta for a past expansion that I can recall. And over the course of last year, we had tons of folks in our beta giving us feedback, reporting bugs. But we also had even more people just in the community in general, following developments, following updates, watching YouTube videos, chiming in on Reddit threads, on our forums, on social media, everywhere else, letting us know what was exciting, what was concerning, what you didn't understand, what you were worried about, what you were happy about, and more. And all of that helped shape Shadowlands, and I could not be more proud of where we ended up. And it's been amazing seeing everyone jumping into this new world that we've crafted together and having an amazing time over the last couple of months. That's a conversation, that's a process that I would like to carry forward into 2021, and for that to be a baseline for how we build World of Warcraft going forward. So as we're here today talking about the next major update, what you're going to hear about shortly is where we're headed in terms of the world, in terms of the story, in terms of these epic characters we've just been introduced to, major villains like the Jailer and Sylvanas, and what's up with Anduin anyway. But we're going to talk a bit less, however, about systems. We have tons to share there, but the way we need to work on our systems, as we've learned, is, of course, by first seeing how they're playing out in your hands. We couldn't really plan what we were going to do with legendaries or where Torghast was going to go or what was going to change about soulbinds without having the experience of millions of players dealing with those systems and letting us know what you think. And so I am pleased and excited to say that when we look at our systems, unlike in some past expansions at this point, we're not seeing anything that needs to be completely overhauled or replaced. What we see are solid foundations that are in many cases in need of iteration, and upon which we can build a structure that will sustain us throughout the entirety of Shadowlands to come. So that's a conversation that's going to come when our public test realm goes live, and we'll have lots more information to share with you there. Now, what we are going to talk about, and boy do we have a lot of exciting stuff for you, is the first major content update for Shadowlands. Let me turn it over to my colleague, Jeremy Fiesel, who can tell you all about it.
Hi everybody, I'm Jeremy Fiesel. I am a designer on WoW, and it is my pleasure to get to introduce to you today a first look at what's next for World of Warcraft Shadowlands. So let's talk a little bit about what we've accomplished so far. The champions of Azeroth have stepped foot in this otherworldly space known as the Shadowlands, the afterlife for all souls from Azeroth and beyond. Within the Shadowlands, we have met new allies, and we've fought a ton of new and interesting new enemies. We've joined covenants, and we've gained great power. And in this time, we have been able to deal with some of the immediate threats to our new covenant allies. We have taken down the Gorm and the Drust in Ardenweald, and the Forsworn in Bastion, and ultimately, we've been able to add some stability back to each of our new allies' home zones. Within the Shadowlands, we have also been able to help out many of the denizens that are undergoing this major lack of anima by sending anima back out into the world, reinvigorating both our allies as well as the military forces of each of our covenants, so they can take the fight back to their enemies. And as a culminating element to all of these things, we've been able to take out one of the jailer's main lieutenants, the traitorous Sire Denathrius in Castle Nathria. And yet, behind all of these things is the looming, dark and mysterious figure of the jailer. So what do we really know about the jailer's dark designs up until this point? Well, we know that the jailer is in charge of the Maw, a dark and forbidden place that we can't spend even a moment too long in before getting unceremoniously swept out by the jailer's forces.
He died in the Maw.
We know that the Maw has had this huge influx of souls, allowing the jailer to gain massive amounts of power, as well as anima, thanks to the actions of Sire Denathrius. This has allowed the Maw to grow in great proportion, something we've been able to physically see just by looking out past Oribos into the darkness. In addition, every time we have tried to step foot into the Maw, we've been watched unmercilessly by the eye of the jailer. We've never been able to get a solid foothold there. We have spent some time in Torghast, the Tower of the Damned, and we've rescued some very prominent souls. But again, we've never been able to get a solid and consistent foothold there and make any real progress. The jailer remains this mystery of the Shadowlands, and exactly what his dark designs are for the afterlife are still unknown. This is the story we will be investigating in our first major content update for World of Warcraft Shadowlands, entitled Chains of Domination. Now you can imagine with a name like that, we're going to be very centered around the jailer's forces and his plans. What do him and his champion Sylvanas have in store for the rest of us? And how does this influence our allies in Ardenweald, in Bastion, and elsewhere? The jailer will make his first attacks, showing his hand, and we'll be forced to defend our brand new allies as we see what the jailer's designs for the Shadowlands truly
That's
are.
what he means, right?
Let's take another look at that cinematic
assaults, that's it.
showing what fate has in store for Anduin in Chains of Domination.
Look around you! What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
Enough! Join our cause, or be made to serve.
Right now, you hold all the power. Make your choice, Sylvanas Windrunner.
Oh, come on, dude. We've only got 20 minutes.
I know.
Despite all our efforts, the Maw continues to grow. What if Denathrius' treachery is irreparable? The Primus is lost, and Bastion cannot save the Shadowlands alone.
None of this should have happened.
Perhaps the Winter Queen could...
My Archon, a living soul seeks an audience.
A mortal?
A king.
By
all our measures, one
I don't
who
understand,
has spent
like,
his
how
life
he gets all the way here.
striving for justice.
At least we see
Without
Arthas
anyone
again.
stopping him.
One who would give anything to serve his people. One whose heart is true.
Very well. He may approach. Step forward.
Honestly.
My Ascended have spoken of you. The king held captive in the Maw.
That prison could not hold me forever.
Why have you come to Bastion?
You have a key that I need.
You will release this soul from your grasp.
No. He is bound to me.
Can the jailer just escape the maw anytime he wants to? You know, in somebody else's body.
I mean, I guess. Like, do you think he means brother, like actual brother? Because they're both kind of.
That's Arthas.
He's got them Arthas eyes.
He needs a special soul.
They needed like one of those mobs that could see through illusions. You know, like just that's like out in the world everywhere. And they would just saw him. He's totally fine.
The vessel performed its part flawlessly. 3 keys remain. Then they will see. Death was never meant to be chained.
All right. New stuff.
Right, now tell us about stuff.
Here we go.
There's a lot to unpack there. But as you can imagine, we're not going to take a strike like that sitting down. We're going to call in the forces of all 4 of the Shadowlands Covenants. For the first time in years, they will all come together, now reinvigorated by anima and by our actions within the Shadowlands, to take the fight directly to the jailer. Within the Maw, we will uncover brand new, never-before-seen areas. We'll also be fighting off some new and never-before-seen enemies, of course, and naturally be uncovering some brand new Maw-themed rewards while we're at it. Our return to the Maw includes not only a chance for us to push back against the dark designs of the jailer in areas that previously were very forbidding for us, where we really weren't able to spend very much time there. Having a secure, solid foothold with all 4 covenants allows us to push back against that oppressive force. We'll be able to stop the Eye of the Jailer in its tracks, exploring areas that we were unable to explore before. And our mounts will once again even hear our call within the Maw. The Maw will not only include some areas that we have seen previously, now with our new allies of the Covenants changing things up there, but also some never-before-seen sections. Let's talk for a second about the largest of those sections. So in the finale of that cinematic, you saw that the jailer had sent his chains off out of the Maw and into the darkness. What he found there, that landmass shown there at the very end of that cinematic, is a landmass known as Korthia, and it makes up the largest new section of the Maw. Korthia is an ancient space that was lost in the in-between. It has its own strange creatures and wildlife that inhabit it, but it's also inhabited by some of the characters that we've previously seen in Oribos, including the Attendants and the Protectors, and some of their city structures. And very similar to Oribos, it is filled with mysteries, the likes of which the Shadowlands has yet to uncover. It is these ancient mysteries that the jailer is truly after, the secrets of this strange group that we've only barely hinted at, known as the First Ones. Heading back into this area will allow us to explore all of these new sections, entertain new content, meet new allies, and face off against new foes. And in addition, we will also see some brand new rewards. Some of the new rewards we'll find within the Maw include this Maw-themed undead horse, and a Maw hand mount that is actually a giant severed hand of domination that you'll ride on the wrist section of in a really creepy and cool manner. And of course, there will be Maw-themed battle pets to collect as well, including your very own minion of domination. But our true purpose within the Maw is not just to collect battle pets. That's just a part of it. The true purpose of bringing all 4 of the Covenants together within the Maw, of course, is to be taking the attack directly to the jailer's doorstep. The central area where the jailer has holed up with all of his main minions is going to be our focus here, as we raid the Sanctum of Domination. The Sanctum of Domination will be a 10-boss raid, and you'll finally be able to face off against the terrible Terragru that I'm sure has kicked you out of Torghast more times than you want to mention at this point. You'll be able to take all of your allies and take the fight directly back to it. We'll also be facing off against the creature that is the actual eye of the jailer and figure out really what is the jailer's eye here. Those of you that were fans of the lore of the Titan Keeper Odin might have some interest in that particular fight. The Jailer's Inner Sanctum, naturally, is a place where some of the worst of the worst souls were sent for the Jailer's personal
Spoilers,
torment.
dude.
And we'll be seeing some of those souls here as well. Really looking forward to hearing who you think will show up in the Jailer's personal torment sanctum. Of course, any raid that features minions, servants, and soldiers of the cold dark like this one is going to have to feature our old nemesis, Kel'Thuzad. And finally, the culmination of the raid. At long last, we will be taking the fight directly to Sylvanas Windrunner, the Banshee Queen herself.
Butt rubs.
The finale of this fight is going to change the future of the Shadowlands. But we're not going to spoil that for you today. However, can't wait for you to see what happens at the end. But the Sanctum of Domination is not the only sanctum of the Jailer. We'll be seeing additional updates to Torghast, the Tower of the Damned.
Oh, nice.
Including the unlocking of brand new, never-before-seen wings. These wings have a brand new art kit, as well as new floors and new floor layouts,
You'll be in the
and
raid
should
as
feel
well.
like something you haven't seen in Torghast up until now. You'll be facing off against brand new foes with dastardly ways in order to stop your ascent, new traps to trip you up, and of course, to help us fight against all of these dastardly minions of the Jailer, brand new game-changing powers will be available as well. Moving on to additional updates within Chains of Domination, fans of the Operation Mechagon Mega Dungeon from our previous patches will be happy to learn that we are once again bringing back the concept of the Mega Dungeon. A Mega Dungeon is an 8-boss dungeon, epic in scale, and always has some unique and interesting loot that you can't find anywhere else. The Mega Dungeon for Chains of Domination is going to be focused around the enigmatic traders that we first met in Oribos, the Brokers. The Broker Mega Dungeon is a large broker trading city with portals, an auction house, and various different broker cartels that have made it their home. We're going to be learning more about broker culture and meeting some new and different kinds of brokers that we haven't seen up until now. This is an 8-boss dungeon, and in Chains of Domination will be available as Mythic only for now.
Yeah, go mad with
Within
it,
the Broker
please.
Mega Dungeon, we will be facing off against brand new broker cartel members, including dastardly broker assassins and 4-armed broker guards.
Oh,
The
please stop
second
looking at
half
the cue
of the
cards,
dungeon,
dude.
as we start to exit the broker trading city, will
killing
feature
me.
a heist section, as we chase a broker that has stolen an artifact and plans to use it for his own purposes. As we chase this broker through the heist section, he'll take us through a number of different portals that take us to a lot of different, very varied locations where we fight a number of different bosses.
that sounds good.
That's awesome.
One of these fights, of course, is against none other than an infinite pirate dragon.
Of
I
course.
trust that needs no explanation.
An
so let's
infinite
move
pirate
on to the
dragon,
rewards.
yes. Okay, I'm in.
The rewards of this
I'm
mega
totally
dungeon
in.
include things that we will only see within broker culture, some very special broker pets, including a broker-themed cat. We can capture some of the rats that scurry around within the broker
Sati.
trading city, and we'll get to see one of the
Sati.
pets that the brokers actually use as a currency. These strange worms that they found on another world and have scintillating eyes that are gem-like. It's sort of like a living sign of your wealth for the high ends of the broker cartels. You might be able to purchase one of those within the dungeon or fight an enemy in order to obtain one of them. And we'll be able to obtain the broker's special and interesting disc mount, which they fly around their trading city with.
Already got it,
In
mate.
addition, there's going to be
Just the
a
mage
dazzling
brand, isn't it?
array
He's good.
of different weaponry for you to collect as well.
Ugh.
Now let's move on to
Ugh.
updates to some of our Covenant
Yikes.
systems. We've been fighting hard to gain renown with our Covenants, gain soulbinds, and additional conduits. We'll be expanding upon a lot of these systems. Some of the ideas that we're thinking about include adding additional conduits, different conduit types, and expanding the soulbind system. Our general goal here is to give you more options in terms of how you specialize your
Very
character within
specific.
your covenant
Not all vague.
and how you gain additional power levels.
Basically,
we're very
adding
early
stuff.
on in the ideation phase here, and we'd
We're
love
not
to
sure
hear
what
from
stuff,
you.
though.
If you want to take to the forums and tell us how you would like to see your power grow within your covenant. Patch 9.1 also brings with it flying, something that we mentioned a while back, and we're sticking to it. There's no rep grind associated with flying. You simply just need to continue completing activities for your covenant, and your covenant story chapters will unlock flying for you automatically. But we're not simply going to be unlocking flying in Chains of Domination. No, we want to do everything heavily covenant themed because it's all about working for your covenants. So completing the flying will also unlock a new specialized flying mount specific to your covenant.
Oh, here we go.
For the Kyrians, activating Anima to the Eternal Forge has allowed your stewards to once again produce this powerful flying centurion that hasn't been seen in ages. For the Night Fae, activating Wild Seeds with Anima that were thought lost to the drought will reawaken our powerful ally in the Wolf Serpent. From the Maldraxians, the Necrolords naturally go to their natural environment, throw a saddle on one of the giant corpse flies buzzing around their backyard, and send that on into combat.
They're kind of
There's
cool.
one thing that you do know, they're not going to be afraid of the stench of death. And for the
Venthyr one's
Venthyr,
gonna be shit.
activating Anima
They're
within
all shit.
Revendreth has allowed us to empower these Stoneborn brutes, giving us Anima-infused
Called it.
Stoneborn
Not
allies
wrong.
as our brand new
Garbage.
flying mounts. But that's not all. Continuing to advance your covenant and your renown will also unlock a set of cosmetic armor. Cosmetic armor sets can be worn by any armor type, from cloth to plate, and they can be mixed and matched with any of your transmog outfits if you want to take just pieces of them, producing a variety of different unique outfit possibilities. The cosmetic armor set for the Kyrian is
mad, mounts are subjective.
stylized after a
Oh, I
Kyrian
like it.
courier who might be rushing
I'm in.
across the fields of Bastion with a missive. It's very lightweight, it's very airy. For the Night Fae,
That's better
your
than the first
cosmetic
four.
outfit
I'll
will
give
be
them that.
themed around the Forest Defenders and includes many natural wildlife elements,
That's terrible.
including the horns
But-
of the Great Stag
Yeah, that's
and the
awful.
leaves of the various flora
It's a bit
around
Robin Hood.
Ardenweald. As you can see, the colors here are actually themed after the seasons as well. For the Necrolords, we went all the way back to the Warcraft 3 initial idea of the Necromancer in this classically inspired Necromancer set, updated with Necrolord colors. Everybody who's a Necrolord will finally get to also have a little bit of
So
Necromancer
you can wear that
in
as
them as
plate?
well.
That's
And
gonna look
finally, for the
terrible.
Venthyr,
gonna
no
look
Venthyr transmog set would truly be complete without a set of finery, just waiting for the next Venthyr fancy party to break out. Venthyr players will be able to obtain these fancy outfits for whenever you need to head off to a
Well,
ball.
one on the left's going to get used
Chains
for
of
transmog quite a
Domination
lot.
will also herald the beginning
I like the middle
of
one.
Shadowlands Season 2, where we will be seeing the addition of a brand new Domination-themed affix for Mythic Plus, an item level increase across the board in terms of available item levels that you can pick up by doing just about anything in the Shadowlands. We'll also be seeing the beginning of PvP Season 2, and something special in this PvP season that we're looking for is an Honor Talent refresh. The idea here is to take a look at some of our unused or underutilized Honor Talents and freshen them up a bit, change things around in terms of the PvP metagame. We'll also be seeing the introduction of seasonal rewards. These include both brand new colors of the Gladiator and Mythic Plus achievement mounts, as well as our new Vicious mounts. In this case, the Vicious mount is the Gorm. The Gorm was already pretty vicious, so slapping a couple of pieces of armor on that and sending them out into combat was a natural thing for the forces of the Alliance and Horde to do. All right, let's take a second to recap everything coming at you in Chains of Domination. First, we've got some major story quests, including a lot of the main characters of the Shadowlands that are centered most specifically around the designs and plans of the Jailer and his attacks on our allies in our covenants. We will be taking revenge by taking the fight directly to the Jailer in the Maw and forming a permanent presence there with all four covenants. we'll be exploring some never-before-seen sections of the Maw, including this new area known as Korthia and its various mysteries. We will be taking the fight directly to the jailer himself in the Sanctum of Domination raid, which has the final boss as Sylvanas Windrunner. And we'll be making updates to Torghast, including some never-before-seen wings, floors, creatures, and powers. We'll be introducing a new mega dungeon themed around the brokers as a floating broker trading city with new bosses to fight there and some very unique loot to obtain. We're going to be expanding upon the conduits and soulbind systems and adding additional choice and power to your presence within your covenant. And alongside that, we'll be seeing some brand new Covenant rewards, including Covenant-themed flying mounts and Covenant-themed cosmetic armor sets, both of which will be available in a variety of different colors to collect. And finally, we'll be seeing the launch of Shadowlands Season 2 and everything that entails. Thanks everybody for checking out our Shadowlands update. We've got a lot of really cool stories to tell still here in the Shadowlands, and we can't wait to get this content into your hands. From everybody on the World of Warcraft team, we hope you enjoy Chains of Domination, and we'll see you in the Shadowlands.
Thank you very much. And there it is, ladies and gents. That is going to be the whole kit and caboodle for World of Warcraft stuff as it stands right now. If Chris, you could swap us over. What's your initial feedback? So we didn't... Everything in the leak was accurate, for the most part, besides, I think, like the Kyrian transmog. Other than that, they pretty much nailed everything they said. 2 out of 10? I don't know. I think you're being a bit harsh, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think it's that bad. The new raid sounds really cool, Finn.
Yeah, new raid sounds interesting, for sure.
Who do you think's on this Torment Sanctum Council, Finn? They said they're going to have a bunch of old heroes in there.
I have honestly got no idea.
I feel like there might be Arthas, because they have referenced him being in there.
I just want to say right now that if Arthas is a sub part of a Sylvanas boss fight, I will cancel my sub. Right? That's like, that's unacceptable to me. I think it's going to be stupid people like, I think Garrosh might be there. I think
he's in Revendreth, right? So it's
Nathanos will probably be there. I mean, come on, he's got to be.
Good.
Who else? Who cares? Doesn't matter. As long as we get to kill her. It could be literally anyone. If Arthas is there, though, I'm going to be so mad. If we kill Arthas as a mini boss and then we spare Sylvanas, actual rage will flow from me on that raid.
Varian, maybe? I mean, I was thinking it's got to be souls that are in the mod, right? So Garrosh is under Revendreth. So I don't think Garrosh could be there, because he's in Revendreth and they're using him as an anima factory, basically, right?
It's meant to be like after Legion, right?
Yeah.
Or like midway through Legion, because Ysera's in Ardenweald. But it's not like Blizzard to be consistent with their storytelling. So it could be anyone, really.
We're looking at all old faces. This is like raid nostalgia, right? We've got Kel'Thuzad, the Terragru, which is going to be weird because I assume they might switch up the boss that's in Torghast.
And I have already killed him. So
yeah, you've already killed him.
I'm 1 out of 10. Good job, me.
A return of Odin from the Trial of Valor.
Well, the Eye of the Jailer thing. He was like, Eye of the Jailer, if anyone knows the Odin lore, they'll be interested. Yeah. So I know what it is now. Thanks for the spoiler. I was kind of looking forward to that.
Well, I assume it's going to carry some of those mechanics over, though. I would think, because Odin is a guy in World of Warcraft already.
Yeah. You probably don't know the lore, do you? So basically, yeah, it's going to be Odin's Eye. Helya's probably going to be there. That's pretty much it.
I hope it's not like Helya again then. And Sylvanas. There is no way in hell we're killing Sylvanas. Like, that's never happening.
We should brutally murder her.
We're going to purify her soul. It's going to be like a baptism more than anything.
If we do that by killing her, I'm very happy about it.
We are definitely not. We are 100% not having that happen. But it is a very nostalgic raid there. They are updating Torghast, which was not part of the leaks. I'll have to wait and see on that one to see what they're putting in there. I hope they followed a lot of the suggestions that people like ourselves put out in the alpha. My favorite thing they announced here is actually the new mega dungeon. Because it sounds like everything I wanted.
Specifically.
We do know the name of this mega dungeon, right? We said it yesterday. They didn't mention it during this video.
No, they didn't actually.
But we do know the name. Does anybody remember? The Pirate Dragon. Okay, a Pirate Dragon is great, for sure. Infinite Pirate Dragon. Don't you scam it.
Infinite Pirate Dragon.
That's right. Tazavesh.
Awesome.
Yes, Tazavesh is supposed to be the name of the mega dungeon there. It will obviously split into 2 M pluses, but it sounds like what we said, Finn. Like, they're going crazy with it, because Mechagon was great. It should have been better, I think, considering the theme of the Mecha Gnomes and how crazy they could have got. They didn't get particularly super crazy. But Karazhan, they did. You know, you start off in a dungeon and you end up in space. Like, you went for everything in between there. I really hope they get wacky with this, with Tazavesh.
Yeah, and they're talking about it being a heist. You're chasing the guy through loads of portals and stuff. Yeah, it sounds fun. I'm down for it.
An Infinite Pirate Dragon, of course. Also, the hand mount. What a play.
Hand mount is good. I want one.
I wonder how big it's going to be. It has to, because the seat on it is on the wrist.
I hope it's tiny, honestly. I hope you're way too big for it.
You think it's like Thing from the Addams Family? I think that's what they're going to go with.
Yeah, that's what I'd want. That's what I'd want.
The hand mount looks incredible. I really hope those fingers move really fast, like scary twiddly fingers as it moves across. Actual hand size.
That would be amazing.
It'll be the crab mount skeleton. I kind of hope it runs a bit faster than that. I hope it's a little faster animated than that. They are updating the Maw. Now, one prediction we had when we went over the leaks, Finn, is that whether they were going to actually alter the old Maw area, because he's like almost terraforming it by bringing other areas in. Because right now...
it looks like they're going to, yeah.
Well, I actually thought they're going to make it a separate zone. I think we're going to go along the chains, and it's going to be a separate zone that we travel to, Korthia, and not the old area.
Definitely separate zone for Korthia, but they said that now that the Covenants are helping you, you'll be able to go into places easier without the eye.
Yeah, stopping the eye of the jailer.
In parts, yeah. I think you might have like little bases with the Covenants and go into places like, you know, the 2 places that you unlock. I can never remember the name. The Beast.
Oh, you mean the Trabaculum and the...
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beast.
Yeah. So you might be able to like go into them a little bit easier than you would before. Because those mobs are meant to slap you about. They don't really. You can like change.
Yeah, on freshly geared characters, they do hurt.
Yeah, so it might be that like Perdition Hold, that's the other one. Thanks, chat. It might be that they're easier now that you have like Covenant support.
Well, I'm wondering, one, what are they going to do with the old area? Because Stygia doesn't make much sense going into 9.1, because it's the bigger rewards are affecting Season 1 stuff, which no longer matters. So it does need a revamp, otherwise that content is dead. And I'm really wondering what style they're going with Korthia, or whether it's going to be more like a Firelands area. As opposed to, I don't think what they did with the Maw first worked for many of us. And it looks like you can stop the Eye of the Jailer somehow, or maybe the Eye of the Jailer is only relevant in Korthia and it's no longer relevant in the older zones, so you can kind of do what you want there. And whether they'll do something fresh and keep it fun with the old area. That would be cool.
I'm kind of interested how, if I kill the Eye of the Jailer in the raid, why can it still bother me in the Maw?
Well, I think they might get rid of it entirely, Finn. This might be a canon reason to make the if the Eye of the Jailer mechanic hasn't particularly worked out and they feel that way, let's have them kill it in the raid.
Just get rid of it. Yeah. I mean, the same with the Targru, though. Do I just get to infinitely die in Torghast now? Because who's chasing me? Killed him.
This is for 9.1.
Idols and...
This is a 9.1 patch.
Jailer has 2 eyes, Finn, says chat. Thanks. Yeah, I'm aware.
We are getting Sanctum only mounts and Sanctum only armors. I don't know if we've got any pictures of those, Chris, that we could put up. That would be pretty interesting if we have some of those. The mounts, they're okay. No tier sets though.
Yeah, I'm super okay. This is going to sound like I'm just railing on stuff, but I'm super disappointed by the lack of systems information.
Mm-hmm.
I know they said like we don't know what we're going to do with them, but that suggests that this isn't that close patch, honestly.
I feel the lack of footage is rather telling. I mean, we're pre 9.05 right now. I really feel like this patch is quite a ways away, and they're like, this is what we're working on and confirmed. June, July, August. Yeah, I think it's a fair way away. I don't think they're particularly... they'd usually show some in-raid footage, right? Typically, when they announce a new raid, we do get a fly-through of what's going on, right? We do get that of some description. Yeah. If they've created a new zone like they have with Korthia, we typically would get a fly-through of what's going on there. So I do feel it's in its very early stages, and it is going to be a wear away. We got nothing. I disagree. I think we did all right. The new raid looks fine. It is going to be a while. I think it's going to feel like a content drought for a lot of people, where they're kind of hoping Valor's going to tick people over. Because as far as we know, there's not much coming in 9.05 besides the new, more crafting system. And this is going to be quite a ways away. But I don't think there's anything I was disappointed in. I don't think that's fair, honestly. I don't think that's fair.
I'm very disappointed in lack of systems, chat, honestly.
You were out of your mind, right? There's no way.
I mean,
you're trolling me.
I don't know how they don't have any idea what systems they're putting in. Like, really? So the thing with BFA, and Ian said it, was like, you needed to just crush the systems and start again. So it was pretty clear that you just needed to like delete Azerite and fix it entirely. But right now, he said, there's no like thing that we need to destroy. We just need to iterate on it. Mm-hmm. And then they also said, we have no idea how to iterate on it. Please tell us.
I think they said they're open to feedback. I think you're twisting it a little bit there.
Then have something down. Like if they have any idea what they're doing, like at least say something. Like, we're going to put more conduits in. Like, they didn't say that. They're like, we don't know. We might make the soulbind trees longer, or we might put a new type of conduit in, or...
Well, as you suggested before we started here, what do you do with conduits, right? It was always a system that needed addressing early on. As we know, they came into Shadowlands, I think we need to be fair on this, is they came into Shadowlands saying, look, we're going to put all the systems for the entire expansion in now. And as testers, as vast testers of the alpha and the beta, a lot of them didn't make sense, right? They were squashing them every time. They became kind of like... If I look at my Hunter, for example, I have one potency conduit in my entire soulbind. That's it, right? It's like a practically worthless system for what it's supposed to be. And I'm sure there's other players who are playing right now who are like, what do you exactly expect us to suggest to expand on a system that, after all this renown farming, I essentially have one potency conduit and maybe a couple of things that do something to my damage, I guess. You know, I get a bit of an interrupt thing here and there. But I am happy that there's no new stuff, but whether or not... How do you fix that? And they definitely look like... Do we just put different types of gems in? Are you guys excited about gems?
Yeah. Different type of conduits doesn't do anything for me. The problem with the conduit system is that the more they add to it, the more the existing system kind of falls apart. Yeah. Because you can't swap right now, and I only have 3 conduit slots. Mm-hmm. So if I have 8 conduit slots, I can't really do much. Like, I can't swap things around if I need to. If they add another soulbind, then they still have the problem of like one just being objectively better than the other 3. Like, even if there's
typically makes the whole system even worse, because as we've calculated in the past in our videos, and I don't know if Chris can remember the number, the sheer quantity of iterations is in the thousands. And it's like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, and the more iterations you add, like the more convoluted the system is, and ultimately the worse the system tends to be. Like, you look at Azerite Armor, it had so many options. There's 2 good ones.
Yeah. It was like
it just made it feel super bad. Yeah. So like that sort of stuff, I don't know how I feel about them just saying, we might do stuff here, please help us. Like,
would you be fine with saying we're not doing anything with it right now? Like, change for the sake of change is always a bit worrying, right? So if they're thinking we need to do something with soulbinds and conduits because like we made the system to do something with it,
I'd genuinely rather.
Risky.
I'd rather they were like soulbinds and conduits are kind of working right now. Like, we're going to make like balance changes to the soulbinds and conduits so you can use more, rather than saying we're just going to add more stuff. I'd rather they just tried to balance the ones that are existent. And then I'm super disappointed that they teased tier sets months ago and they're not here.
They're not here.
Because if this patch is like 6 months away and there's not tier sets in it,
it's not going to be this patch. 9.2 maybe, but clearly they're going with the Covenant armor sets this time around in order to deal with that. The big focus for players this time is going to be flying, I think. But I don't know how relevant flying is going to be in an expansion that's so disconnected geographically. Right? It's like you said, it's not doing world quests at all. Flying is essentially slightly quicker to get to the dungeon, is how a lot of us look at flying, or at least a group of us. I didn't see although they did announce that flying was covered in 9.1, I keep my eye on the chat, obviously, when they said flying's coming, nobody gave a fuck. Absolutely zero people in our audience gave a fuck that flying was coming. Like, so I don't know if that's because everyone's expecting it, so it's not a surprise, or it actually isn't going to have much of an effect in our day-to-day lives. I'm sure there's a combination of a few of those things. But either way, hand mount, universally globally praised. Flying, I guess. Sure, that's going to be a good thing. But you're not wrong. I think right now they might even be in the situation, Finn, a little bit. And obviously we don't want to jump the gun here, where they have all these systems, just not quite sure what to do with them. Without it disrupting anything else. And causing all kinds of problems. Like, if they make the conduit system really good, can they even do that? Can you make the conduits as powerful as legendaries, for example? I mean, they kind of have to sit under that, right? So they can't be too good. Should they?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You know, they can't be too good. Many people are using just a singular conduit, so or being annoyed by having to swap that one around. There's a lot of things there that probably like are causing those problems. But on the other hand, a lot here to look forward to, as far as I'm concerned. Mechanically, then they don't know what to say, so I'm not going to poo-poo it yet either, because they don't know what the answer is. And it's clearly a long way away.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited about the content. The raid's going to be super fun in Torghast, and the dungeon looks awesome. I'm really excited for the mega dungeon, because they're always good. So yeah, definitely good for those. I don't really care about the cosmetic stuff. No. I do care about the system stuff, so I'm excited to see what happens going forward for it. But I think they really need to have like a plan.
Yeah, well, the concern is, if they're forcing change for the sake of change, and I think this is what we're both probably worried about because we've seen it in the past, is that usually doesn't end well. Because it usually ends with some sort of like half-baked, not quite their idea, that's either meh, so you're talking you never like Crucible, right? You're like, well, okay, I mean, I guess. You know, it gives me some random proc of damage. What the hell? Woohoo. Or it ends up just overbearing the rest of the systems, and you're like, well, okay, so it's all decided on covenants now and things like on my conduits and things. So I think that's something to watch out for. Can't poo-poo anything that we don't actually have information on, so have to wait and see on that one. What's the first thing you're gonna be? What's the main thing you're excited for? I'm excited for the Tarragrue fight. We talked about this in our little preview video based on the league. Is if it's the Torghast raid, this is likely to be a raid that involves Torghast powers somehow. It would be a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I think like the Torghast raid has a ton of opportunity behind it. So yeah, I'm really excited for the raid. I think the raid will be really good. I'm kind of interested in the M+ affix because I think
any suspicions? It's called Domination.
I honestly have no idea, but the last two have been really good, I think.
Sounds like a mind control, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think Prideful's really good, and I think the one in 8.3, which I can never remember the name of, was also really good. So if they put a similarly good M+ affix in, then I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Interesting suggestion from Mickle here is that it chains you together like Sludge Fist.
Oh no! Okay, then I take it back.
So you get that mixed with storming or volcanic or whatever.
Yeah, I take it back. God. Does it one shot you as well? Okay, I'm out.
Oh God, can you imagine if it changed you together? No, double legendaries I would expect to be in the 9.2 patch. I would expect double Legos to come around 9.2. That seems appropriate for when they'll do that. I'd be surprised if they wait till 9.3 with legendaries, but they may do. They may do. I think it's likely to see 9.2 when we get the double Legos. But other than that, that is kind of where we're at on the announcements. If I check through Chris's notes here, it's nothing. The only thing that was additional to the leak was the Torghast updates. That was it. We did not get any. Well, we did get the cutscene, obviously. We got that cutscene, which they played a couple of times because there wasn't much for them to talk about, which is fine. But other than that, that's what we're getting, and it's going to be a long, long way away. I totally agree with you there, Finn. This is a while off, a long time away. Yeah, this looks like something they had to put together because it was BlizzCon. And it's not ready to show yet.
Yeah, especially Ian's thing, the one take. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he either had to redo that, or I'm worried. I hope he's not ill, because it looked like he had to either rush that, or they had to retake it last minute. I wonder if they dropped out some stuff, because he also wasn't part of the, John doing the World of Warcraft stuff on the main BlizzCon opening ceremony instead of Ian. So I hope he's well. He definitely either had to redo that, or it was certainly one take, because he even stumbled over his words and they didn't retake it, which you don't do if you're going to pre-record something. Like, why would you do that? So let's hope he's fine. Yeah, let's hope he's fine and all good. But other than that, I think that's everything that we got out of BlizzCon for World of Warcraft, guys. Not amazing, but not bad either. Agreed, Finn?
Yeah, not bad.
You have to take his joy.
Yeah.
Not bad. I thought it was okay. It's been better than other
now.
years. Yeah. I think there's a lack of enthusiasm right now because we had all of that leaked for the most part. Like, there was nothing new for us, right?
Definitely. If it had been a curveball, for sure. Yeah. I definitely get that.
If we didn't have the leak, to see the announcement of the new Broker Mega Dungeon with heists and things like that, that would have been extremely exciting. As would have been the new raid. We would have only just found out that Sylvanas was the main boss of the next raid, which is surprising. We're doing it first, but they're obviously redeeming her in some way for the remainder of the expansion. I'm sure I can't wait for everyone's sort of delight in that. The Infinite Pirate Dragon, hopefully it's a cool boss fight, and not like the Infinite fight we had in the End Time dungeon, if anyone remembers that.
Oh, yeah.
It turned out to be a meme. Absolutely turned out to be a meme. Well, we're going to love you, leave you guys. Thank you for so many of you tuning in with us tonight. I hope you had fun. It is well gone midnight here. Me and Finn are going to take our leave. Thank you for joining us, Finn.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
A big thanks to Chris, who's running all this in the background and getting all these notes ready and all these screenshots and tagging everything for us. Have a great evening. Thank you to the team, and thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
You hit the button.